Welcome aboard to the AM show. Some sad news that we heard yesterday about some 9 people dying. We still do not know the exact death toll as we speak, but we hope that you are safe. You had somewhere to lay your head last night, and if you didn't, we hope that today will be a better day. Our condolences to the families of those who lost their lives in yesterday's floods. We commiserate with you, and we hope that today will be a better day. We also pray and hope that the flood waters will also recede and those who are missing will also be found. A very good morning and welcome to the AM show. This morning, our focus is on a major matter arising that continues to plague us as a nation: the devastating floods that have once again exposed the vulnerability of Ghana's capital, Accra, to extreme weather events, rapid urbanization, and persistent challenges with drainage systems. Well, the death toll from Monday's floods across parts of Greater Accra, we know now has risen to 9, with emergency responders warning that the figure could increase as rescue and recovery efforts continue. Entire communities were submerged, homes and businesses destroyed, and many residents displaced after hours of heavy rainfall overwhelmed major drains and left key roads impassable. Yesterday, we brought you that report on the Winneba Cape Coast Road as well, completely cut off. So in response, President John Dramani Mahama conducted an aerial assessment of the affected areas and has directed an immediate crackdown on drainage blockades, which, while announcing emergency relief support for the victims, the measures are aimed at addressing both the immediate humanitarian needs and the broader challenge of flood management in the capital. Also, the political conversation has also begun, with the New Patriotic Party calling for more effective and long-term solutions to the perennial flooding problem, and also questioning the coordination of the current response framework. We'll delve into that. Meanwhile, there's very little respite in sight. The Ghana Meteorological Agency is forecasting more rainfall across Accra and surrounding areas from yesterday evening into today. So this warning comes after hours of torrential rains inundated communities, disrupted transport, and also displaced hundreds of residents, raising fresh concerns about further flooding in the already affected areas. So beyond the politics, what must be done differently? Why does Accra continue to endure the same tragedy year after year? And really, what practical lasting measures are needed to protect lives and property? Our panel will join us on the News Review to discuss these critical questions and the way forward for the nation. But we'll have all these after the news update. My name is Denise Yapomaeje. Welcome aboard to the AM show. Please stay with us. Welcome back. This is AM News. About 9 people were reported dead yesterday after heavy rains triggered flooding in parts of Accra. Rescue operations involving the Ghana Navy, Fire Service, Marine Police and NADMO are ongoing as teams work to save residents still trapped in their homes and other affected areas. Let's listen to President John Dramani Mahama after an aerial assessment of the flooding situation.
And then also create a new center of growth so that our people will start building outside Accra in a new city instead of everybody looking for some space in Accra to build. But that's a long-term solution. Like I said, it's a 20-year project. They are still working on the designs. Once they do that, we'll demarcate. People can start buying plots. If they like, they can start building houses. We'll do the roads, bring the water and electricity so that it eases the pressure on Accra as a city. But I just want to express my sympathy with people who have lost property. Loss of property has been very extensive, and I want to thank the military, NADMO, the police, and the Hydro Works and Housing Ministry, and all the emergency response team, 48th Engineers Regiment, for the rescue that they did. I've seen many of the videos where people had to be carried out of their houses. They deployed their boats, and they helped to save quite a lot of lives. NADMO will do what it can to try and identify the victims and see how we can just support them in a way in the next few days. I've asked the Minister of Finance to release some money from the contingency fund so that we can do some post-flood relief for persons who have been affected. And so let me again express my sympathy, but let us change our attitude and let us find a permanent solution to this Accra flooding problem. We shouldn't become like the vulture who, anytime it is raining, he says as soon as it stops raining, he will repair his roof. And then as soon as it stops raining, he says, oh, it has stopped raining, so there's no need to repair the roof. This time should be different.
Now, fire engulfed Addo Naraba Market after floodwaters hampered swift response from the Ghana National Fire Service. After sustained efforts and receding floodwaters, fire tenders were able to reach the scene to bring the blaze under control. A body was later discovered in the floodwaters as well. Stephen Mensah reports.
So who beside our say, but that day on say, it's me a bahina. You know, they are say, Panson baby, acquire them. A you cry, baby, I bet me Adam.
By the time emergency crew gained access, the market had been burning for nearly 10 hours. For traders who watched helplessly as their shops went up in flames, the response came far too late.
Say don't throw any tissue in Yadia Benkura, but I say, fast service for Mama, she, huh? To tell by any Yan Edumejano, Robert's Fonu, near the father, the fire, yet me, Nani. Yes, one, baby. No, I should pa. Contain, say, Capran Poyan Fabi.
As a single mother, me and me bibia, me baskum bibia, me nyamani na sempo, bompo ame sempo, bimpo wana mafa, and I must say, the bompo is a binding bed, or bell boy, femina, bimpo wana mission, a binding bell boy, as a single mother, minkum, baby bian coming.
Firefighters are still battling the blaze, hoping to prevent it from spreading further. Greater Accra Regional Fire Commander for the Ghana National Fire Service, Rashid Nisawu, spoke to Joy News.
If a whole fire engine, about 5 fire engines with a tanker is here and we are battling with the fire, what would the headpan water do to this fire? You understand the scenario. So I just want to assure the general public that this fire will be brought under control and finally extinguished any moment from now.
As the smoke begins to clear, traders can only wait, hoping to recover whatever little the fire has spread. For Joy News, Stephen Mensah.
Now, still on floods, we know that flood waters that have recently swept through parts of Accra, claiming lives and destroying property, are once again putting Ghana's drainage systems under scrutiny. The Environmental Protection Authority is now warning that beyond heavy rainfall, human activities, including plastic pollution, especially styrofoam waste, are significantly worsening the impact of flooding. The authority says its planned ban on styrofoam and the gradual phase-out of single-use plastics is now a critical part of the country's flood response strategy.
Recent floods in Accra have once again raised concerns about Ghana's preparedness in managing extreme weather events as communities continue to count losses in both lives and property. The Chief Executive Officer of the Environmental Protection Authority, Professor Nana Kluche, says the crisis is not only driven by heavy rainfall but also by widespread human activities that obstruct natural water flow. She identified 3 major contributors.
The flooding in Accra currently, it's a sad situation because we've lost life and we've lost properties as well. We see 3 different things happening. The heavy rain is one of them. We see also that the pathway for the water to flow to our major rivers and to wetlands are also blocked because people are built on waterways. Another difficulty we have is also the styrofoam and the plastics and other materials. But largely, if you see in the water, you see plastic and styrofoams, which are waste materials that has been dumped into the flowing waters that's supposed to get into the sea. These choked the pathways as well. And if we cannot avoid heavy rain from coming, we can avoid choked gutters and allow waters to flow.
She made the remarks during a courtesy call on the Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson as part of stakeholder engagements in the region.
Allow the wetlands to function. There are storage areas for these unused waters when it rains. We need to allow the wetlands to also function as part of our ecosystem, and that's EPA is going to ensure.
Joseph Nelson warned that flooding and river degradation cannot be addressed in isolation, stressing the need for coordinated national approach.
On the river bodies, because the rivers extend far beyond region. If you take the Prague, for example, it goes all the way through Central. I'm told it goes to, it's Bono. So, any effort we put in around here, downstream. Yeah. That's right. So, I'm suggesting that as we work here around, these areas, our portion of it, I think that some effort must also be, focus on the central region and other areas.
The EPA team will later proceed to Samraboy, a community in the Amenfi West municipality affected by flooding, before visiting the diamond mine to assess environmental practice within large-scale mining operations. For Joy News in Athalia, Kwanza, Western Region.
Now, government says it is targeting the creation of more than 1,000 jobs for young people by 2028 as part of efforts to tackle unemployment and steer the youth away from drug abuse and other social vices. The announcement was made at the Independence Square Viewing Center as the Ghana Black Stars played its final Group L game in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Mayor of Accra, Michael Adeti, speaking to Joy News, described sports as a powerful tool for bringing young people together and promoting positive values. The mayor says the government's broader vision is to create employment opportunities while using sporting activities to engage thousands of young people and encourage them to stay away from illicit drugs and other harmful behaviors. There's more in the following report.
Ghana lost by some 2 goals to Croatia, but despite this loss, many of these supporters believe the coach and the management have what it takes to take the Black Stars far in this competition.
I absolutely trust our boys. Our boys are very, very good. And with the coach we have, he has, in regards to his experience with Alex Ferguson and different places he has been, I think he has a very good tactics that can match our opponents next, regardless of who we will face.
Playing against Croatia, FIFA ranking, Ghana being at the 73rd position, playing against Croatia and playing 2-1 is not a big deal. I think it's a good result. They've done well. And kudos to the coach, kudos to the team, kudos to the captain, and the goalkeeper especially.
Individual errors has to be looked or checked very well.
Yeah, when Ghana has been able to keep the clean sheet like against England, we can make it. And Portugal, we play against them before, and it was 2-1, right? So with this performance, Ghana can do something.
For the Accra mayor, he believes viewing centers like these will reduce social vices.
Right now we are doing the game here. Nobody's thinking of doing cocaine. Nobody thinking of doing trauma. All of them are focused. They are focused on the football. So this is a good platform to have them to let explain things to them how we all can make Accra a better place for all of us. Understand? So the youth should know that, listen, we have only one life to live. If we live, we are saying, there's a proverb said, that's a proverb. So what you have to know, whatever we are doing now is ahead of us. So I'm bringing all of them together for us to make sure we work together.
He's also been talking about providing some employment to some 1,000 Ghanaians to reduce social vices and drug abuse.
You know, when it's difficult to have the youth like this, and football brings everybody together. So when I speak to you now, we have over 5,000 youths here. After the game, I'm going to talk to them. And because of the research that we're having, we're going to start 24-hour ticketing. So I'm going to employ some of the youth. So there's a platform for me to even announce to them that there is job for them to stay away from drugs, stay away from bad substance. This is a time for the youth. The mayor is the youth, and I'm hoping before 2028 we will employ over 1,000 youths. That's my target. So this is a very good stake for me to talk to the youth.
From the Independence Square, I am Stephen Rensa for Joy News.
Now, at just 13 years old, Nania Eduante has achieved a milestone that is rare even among adults, where she has published her first novel. Her book, Motel Mystery, tells a story of curiosity, friendship, and mystery. But beyond the storyline, it is a young author's journey that is drawing attention, a journey shaped by early passion, family support, and discipline. The achievement is also sparking wider conversations about how children's talents are identified and nurtured, and the role of education in developing their creative potential. Inathalia Kwanta has more.
Nania Eduante books have always opened doors to new worlds. Her love for reading eventually inspired her to create her own A Simple Question about a mysterious motel, becoming the beginning of a story that has become a published novel.
Through hard work, determination, and support of so many wonderful people, what began as an idea in my imagination has become a real book that others can read and enjoy. I have always loved reading stories. Books have a special way of taking us on exciting adventures and helping us see the world differently. One day, I began asking myself a simple question. What if there was an old motel that nobody dared to visit because of stray rumors and mysterious events? The question sparked my imagination and became the beginning of Motel Mystery. There were times when I had to think carefully about what will happen next in the story. There were moments when I felt stuck and times when balancing schoolwork and writing was challenging. Today, I hope my story serves as a reminder that age should never be a barrier to achievement.
The journey, however, started long before she became an author. Her family says they noticed her passion for stories when she was much younger.
I wouldn't say it was an intentional thing. I think it came out of her own passion for reading. And I think at the age of 9, to read a storybook and come and recite the whole book to you and tell you what transpired in the book. And that is where we all got curious about it and then encourage her to do more reading and then get her more books. So in the family, if you travel, the best thing you can get, Princess, is a book.
For the Education Directorate of the Afiakwesi Municipality, Gloria Baini Gonto, Nania Eduante's achievement is a reminder that schools and families must create opportunities for children to develop their talents.
The publication of a book at such a tender age is a remarkable feat that speaks volumes about Nania Eduante's creativity, discipline, intellectual curiosity, and determination. In an age where many young people are consumed by social media distractions, she has chosen the noble path of literary creation.
Beyond becoming an author, Nania Eduante hopes her story will push other young people to believe in themselves.
Well, that's it for AM News, but we're bringing back our coverage of the flooding situation yesterday, in case you missed it.
what is next for these people? And so that's some of the critical questions that we need to be asking. Is it enough to give these people relief items each and every time there is a disaster, or there needs to be an identification of the root cause of this problem so that the problem is solved once and for all? When the June 3 disaster occurred, there were a lot of recommendations that were given to President John Mahama at the time, because that was in 2015. He was the sitting president at that time. The committee submitted a 197-page report to President Mahama, proposed major recommendations that needed to be done. But the question is, what happened to these recommendations? Are we still living the past, or we are also waiting for another disaster to occur before we show up for these people? Because Accra, obviously, people are used to this. When we spoke to them, you heard them. They said we are used to this, but it's just that today's own is very severe. So, Stephen, it's just sad that after some years, every now and then we are supposed to learn from our mistakes. However, it's just sad that the same thing keeps on happening each and every time. And so these are more of the people around that we would want to, we want to rescue and speak to. Many more of them sharing their ordeal experiences with it.
So it's just interesting because, Ramat, you talk about the 197-page documents that was presented to the presidency once the June 3rd disaster happened. And it's just interesting because at the start of this year, the Ghana Meteorological Agency talked about we recording some increase in rainfall patterns this year. I'll just be pricked and be thinking about what has been done so far to ensure that such incidents do not cause any catastrophe, given that the whole committee was set up, an anti-flood task force was set up to investigate and provide some recommendations to prevent some of these incidents from happening. Some interesting things that pricked my mind whilst you were talking. I'd just be interested in listening or hearing from some of these environmentalists as to the amount of smoke that's going into the atmosphere. We already understand about global warming. We've had the conversations about global warming. We had the conversations about we trying to reduce our carbon footprint as much as possible. We've had so much about trying to ensure that we prevent smoking. In fact, here at Joy News, we've been doing a whole production about reducing our carbon footprint. We've done a whole production about reducing as much as possible the amount of carbon dioxide we put in the environment. But then, as it stands now, this will be something the environmentalists will be talking about for quite some time. What will be done to prevent this atmosphere from reducing? We've seen the amount of smoke that's going into the atmosphere already. The market is still up in flames. You would understand what will be happening so far. But then another thing that will be pricking my mind will be the extent of damage. Rama spoke about the amount that will be needed to compensate these individuals who have lost their livelihoods here. But then, as to what will be done so far and what has been done so far, it will be interesting to know what government will be doing for these individuals. But then, I've seen the Greater Accra Regional Commander, Fire Commander for the Ghana National Fire Service present on site. Mr. ACFO, good evening and welcome to Joy News. Before you go back inside, we just want to understand what's the briefing like so far?
Firefighting is in progress, so I just want to assure the residents around that we've deployed a lot of appliances around, and in a few hours' time, we'll declare the fire under control.
The conversation from these individuals will be: you came here with a half-full tanker, a fire tender. Is that the case?
No, but as journalists, for now, I thought we'd have settled this issue for a very long time.
This is a conversation these individuals raised. We just want to understand. Did you come here with a half-full tanker?
That's not true, but I just want you to also satisfy yourself. You can go around and check the appliances that are around, whether we are discharging water or not. So there's an appliance over there. You can go and check, please.
All right.
But then I just want to do some assessment this week.
Okay, but then one last question before you go. We had an explosion here. Is that something we should be concerned about?
Yeah, it's all because a this is a residence, you see. Yeah. People cook around, so you should expect explosions because there are cylinders in the fire. So these are some of the things that causes explosions.
All right, all the best to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
So that was a Greater Accra Fire Commander, ACFO Rashid Nisau, and he's been telling us he's been dispelling some of the claims from these residents. The first to be about the gas cylinder, and he says that it's to be expected given that this is a residential place for some individuals, and it will be expected of them to be cooking here. Even though there's been a clear directive from government that no individual should be cooking in the market. He's also been dispelling the claims and the rumors about bringing a half-full tanker, a fire tender, to this fire incident. He's been saying that we should go around and observe ourselves. And in fact, this is, per his account, not true. And he says that it shouldn't be on the record that they brought a half-full tanker to this fire incident because they are doing their best to ensure that this fire is brought under control. But then, Ramat, you've heard the conversations. You've heard the Greater Accra Fire Commander saying, look, they are trying their best to bring this fire under control. It's been close to 12 hours since this fire incident started. We've seen the explosion. We've heard and seen the smoke, the thick smoke that's pretty much engulfing the whole place. We'll be pretty interested in hearing from the environmentalists on the extent of damage to Ghana's carbon footprint so far. But then, what have you been hearing from these individuals?
Indeed, Stephen, I must say that everybody they are trying their best to, douse the fire. The fire service, like you said, speaking to the regional commander, he says that they are trying their possible best to bring this down. As you can see, they are trying to get more resources to help the people here to tame the fire. Even strangers and ordinary people have joined in the fight to ensure that the fire is brought under control. Many more of them have gathered here counting their losses, with some of them being thankful to the Almighty that they've not lost a life. Indeed, many more of them. But interestingly, I have a gentleman here. He seems to love dogs, and so he says that he saw that some dogs were trapped in the flood waters, and he would want to tell us about that. So these are very small dogs. So where did you see them?
By the talking about Kojo, free Okono, Mantoka Membio. By way Omuana, you come down for no, you call now. Namisoma menu namisomenya because me pekra my asem ando anwumire no so start anapa agwa na yele be won 90 minutes na e basa aduane kotena over no so mbi mu awu nso ko ma be bie gota so mo ya maye gota no ma be senyende omo ye maye eno so ka ho na so toka kana yele na hae nkan ya me pena asem no na wu ko no ntebe sire o mo se omo ye hu bibi maye na fire service nso e be sire o mo se ya omo kan che o mo se ya e fra o mo ya omo ye ntem kakra maye na nde de o maye too late eno so ka ho na market yantimi amfa hwe. And next time, I'm correct on mistake.
Okay, so this gentleman here, his major concern is that not only have individuals lost their items, but animals, dogs. He seems to love dogs. Interestingly, unfortunately for him, they lost their life, and so that's his concern. And also, he's also been talking about the extent of damage this incident has caused them. They are still unable to tame the fire. They are still unable to bring the blaze under control. Many more people gathered here. We've had other ambulance services also coming here because they also say that they heard about the situation, and so they decided to come around to also assist with any emergency situation. Hello, sir. You are welcome to Joy News.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. We are from Accra Newtown Islamic Hospital. We heard there was a fire outbreak at Adeti. We said to come around with our health team to come and rescue their casualties around. So we are still on standby to rescue any casualty around. Thank you.
It's very good you are here. Now, in as much as they are unable to tame this blaze, you can see that the smoke coming from this place is very severe. What do you think, beyond the devastation or destruction this fire incident is causing? The smoke coming in is very much also something that needs an emergency attention. Or
for around the smoke is already the smoke is already ongoing, and our advice is to clear all people around should move distance away from the smoke, which can cause if once you inhale the smoke, can cause you some kind of respiratory diseases, infections. So we try to make sure those casualties around, we advise them they should move away from the smoke, which is very dangerous to their health. Thank you.
Okay, so these are some of health officials from Adabraka Newtown saying that the Islamic hospital, they say that they came here with their ambulance just to aid with the situation in case there is any casualty. And so this all those people here are the people who have been affected by this incident. Many more of them counting their losses. They tell me that it's from dawn, and so today their major worry is, where are we going?
Time now to bring you sports here on the AM show with me, Muftaro Dabila Abdullahi. The Ministry of Sports and Recreation, they have been reacting to concerns raised by many Ghanaian fans and the media in relation to tickets that have been issued to Ghanaians to be able to watch and support the Black Stars at the ongoing FIFA World Cup. The statement released by the Ministry of Sports and Recreation basically was touching on some of the concerns that have been raised by many supporters. And the statement says that the Ministry of Sports and Recreation wishes to inform the general public, particularly Ghanaian supporters in Canada, the United States and across the world, that the government World Cup group stage ticket support scheme has come to an end. He says that under the scheme, government procured a limited number of tickets for Ghana's 3 group stage matches only. These tickets were not for commercial sale, but formed part of coordinated national support intervention for selected Ghanaian supporters, recognized supporter groups, sponsors, stakeholders, and diaspora community structures. The final ticket position under the scheme is as follows: 948 tickets for Ghana versus Panama, 1,000 tickets for Ghana versus England, 974 tickets for Ghana versus Croatia. They go on to say the distribution process was coordinated through Ghana's mission in Canada and the United States, recognized Ghanaian associations, supporter groups, sponsors, and stakeholder channels. As part of the process, the mission submitted limited lists from the Ghanaian communities after consultation with the established and recognized associations and community groups. Tickets were then issued electronically through the FIFA mobile ticketing system to approved recipients, either directly to individuals or to approved group lists. The ministry appreciates the concerns of many Ghanaians who could not receive tickets. Demand was far higher than the number procured, reflecting the strong love and support for the Black Stars. We fully understand the disappointment of supporters who could not be accommodated within the limited allocation. The ministry confirms that government ticket allocation covered only Ghana's group stage matches. There's currently no government supporter ticket arrangement for any subsequent stage of the competition. Accordingly, fans who wish to attend any further Black Stars matches are advised to procure their tickets directly through FIFA's official ticketing platform or through accredited authorized ticketing agencies. The ministry also expresses its appreciation to Ghana's missions in Canada and the United States, recognized association, supporter groups, and stakeholders for their support in coordinating the process. In line with our commitment to transparency and accountability, the list of persons, groups, and institutions who receive the tickets under the scheme will be published at a later date once the appropriate publication format is agreed. So that's a statement from the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, basically stating that if you want to continue supporting the Black Stars in the ongoing FIFA World Cup, you would have to secure your own match tickets to be able to support the team against Colombia on Saturday. That game will kick off at 1:30 a.m. Ghana time. They also noted about, the fact that many supporters did not get tickets as reported by the media, and the claims that some of the tickets were sold. The ministry says that the tickets they procured were not for commercial purposes. So that is why most of the tickets they received, they gave 948 out for Ghana versus Panama, 1,000 for Ghana versus England, and 974 for Ghana versus Croatia. Let's hear from Ghana's head coach, Carlos Queiroz, who says he has learned a lot from Ghana's defeat against Croatia, and he's hoping the boys will respond in the round of 32 fixture against Colombia.
For me, at the end of the day, see, I start working with this team. Now it's my 4th game, and I learned a lot in this game. It was a game that I had the opportunity to throw to the pitch a couple of different decisions, and the best thing of this game it is what we learn from the game. We learn a lot of things in terms of our evolution, our progress. We have today, with the game today, we have a clear picture about the performance of some players, what we can do different in the next coming games. Was the first time that in 45 minutes we play 4-4-2 with 2 forwards. We didn't have time to work too much this approach, but the players they did well, and I think with a couple of adjustments we can be even better as we show in the second half.
Derek Lucasen, he scored in his debut for Ghana in the FIFA World Cup against Croatia. His goal, however, was not enough for the Black Stars as they suffered a 2-1 loss to Croatia in their final group game. He's been speaking and he's been talking about the fact that the boys will be up for the game against Colombia on Saturday.
We are trying to do our best, to give our best, and every game we are trying to make the nation proud, and on to the next game we have to keep on going.
Dove from ESPN. Derek, in the last few years, Ghana have faced quite a lot of criticism for failing to reach the Africa Cup of Nations. How important has it been for this team to have a good World Cup and to answer the critics back home with a strong tournament? Thank you.
I think it's very important. As you mentioned, we are through, and that's the most important, and we hope we can come even further, because that is what we want. And we will give our best to come further.
You're the latest African team to make it through to the knockouts, and so what does that mean, not only seeing your own success, but the success of the other African countries also at this World Cup?
I think it's big for all the African countries. Yeah, you can see that I think everybody is improving. There are very good national teams in Africa, and I think you can see it in this World Cup.
We'll bring you highlights of how Brazil, Morocco, and also Paraguay made it to the round of 16 of the ongoing FIFA World Cup. But before that, outfit is courtesy Loom Fashion, where they turn fabric into style, from stunning custom-made outfits all the way down to outfits that ensures that you become a gentleman. Loom Fashion is located at Ofanko Barrier, and you can reach them on 024 650 1801. Loom Fashion will turn your outlook to from we turn your outlook into a special design for you. Let's bring you highlights of matches between Japan and Brazil, as well as the matches between the Netherlands and Morocco, and also the other contest between Germany and Paraguay.
Taken by Guimaraes. Good touch from Cunha. Stars in the stands, stars on the pitch. Japan have stolen it. Sano driving them forward. Still Sano! A goal that will echo from Texas to Tokyo. The Eternal Kings, the 5-time champions. Kaishu Sano with his first international goal. That's a good ball, and it's a really good save as well from Suzuki. Guimaraes denied. It's deep, it's back across. Did it cross the line? No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Amazingly, it did not. Gabriel, that's decent. And thumped in for the equaliser by Casemiro. Out to Vinicius Junior, puts it through the legs of Tomiyasu. Danger here. Vinicius Junior, brilliant, still off the inside of the post and belted over by Cunha. Wow. Ryan, great skill. It is Ryan who goes for it, deflected up and over. Guimaraes, pass through, what a ball, Martinelli! Brazil are heading through to the round of 16. And there it is. Brazil.
Hakimi. Of Somerville, who goes down, and it's left, and it's into the back of the net. And some things are just bigger than football. Cody Gakpo finds the back of the net and is embraced by his teammates.
And the emotions, not just for the goal itself, for the country, for his family.
90 has passed, the header is excellent! As the clock was ticking down, the header was pinpoint and powerful. We will go into extra time. So Barley has opened up here, there's a huge chance and a massive save. And so we will be off to penalties. Netherlands strike first. And Ione off the bar! Kluivert hits the bottom of the post. He can, oh, it's over the line! Weghorst delivers. Netherlands man who rolls it wide. And he hits the bottom of the post. Starts his run up, and it's saved! It's Saibari! And history does repeat itself! What a story in the Estadio Monterrey! What a clash!
2014, and Paraguay have had to wait nearly 2 decades for this moment. Well, Neuer, a crowded man at the moment, and Ciso's delivery was swirling, and it came all the way through. Back to the corner kick taker, Almiron. Galazza, brilliant header, it's in! And Ciso has scored for Paraguay! Their first ever goal in a knockout game at a World Cup! And has gone to fetch it for Germany. Havertz has missed his header, Kimmich is there. Oh, it's a little short, and Ciso capitalises, and Neuer. And from wide, Witz. And the flick from Havertz! And Germany have an equaliser. Number 3 for Kai Havertz at this World Cup. Delivered in towards Havertz's head, and that's a great save by Hill. We have extra time. Germany corner. And the header finds the net from Tar.
Final decision, foul.
Back in towards Havertz. A Germany corner and flick of the wrist by Hill. Brown. It is going to be penalties in Boston. And he's blazed it over the top. Is Jose Canale. Surely this time for Paraguay. He does score! Paraguay's most powerful World Cup result in their history.
Germany knocked out South Africa, knocked out the Netherlands, also knocked out of the FIFA World Cup, as well as Japan. So the round of 16 of the FIFA World Cup already secured by 4 nations, and the round of 16 will be starting on Saturday. Ghana will play at 1:30 a.m. and by 4 p.m. the first round of 16 tie would be happening. This is how we're wrapping up AM Sports here with me, Muftaro Nabila Abda. Before I go, thank you to Loom Fashion, where they turn every single fabric into style, from stunning custom-made outfits for ladies and gentlemen to professional bulk services for boutique and school owners. We deliver quality, creativity, and perfection in every stitch. Loom Fashion, bring out the lady and the gentleman in you. Located at Ofako Road, opposite April Filling Station, adjacent Traders Palace, New Akosua Market. We can also contact them on 02465018001. They stitch this outfit for me, and I say thank you very much. Emefa is standing by, or is it seated by, to bring you a special conversation about Ghana's National Day of Thanksgiving and prayer. We want to pray so that the good Lord will have mercy on this country. We are back after this break.
Hello there, thank you so much for staying with us. You're watching the AM show. So the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and this morning I'm joined by Very Reverend Father Michael Kweku. He is Director of Governance, Justice and Peace for the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference. Now, he's also Catholic chaplain to Parliament and spokesperson for the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving. Rev, thank you, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Morning, and thank you for having me.
Right, so it will be year 2, I think, since this journey started with us as a country, dedicating a particular day to pray and as well give thanks. This morning, or this year, how is this year's planning coming up, and what do you foresee the day to be like when we get to recognize that day?
Well, as you might already know, Emefa, the day is tomorrow. What would be the commemoration of our being a republic. And tomorrow, God willing, all across the country, there will be celebrations, Christian, Muslim, traditional, to mark this day. Here in the capital, the Christian service will be at the forecourt of the State House, which will start at 8 a.m. And then at the National Mosque at 12:30 in the afternoon, the Muslim celebrations will also take place. And at both events, His Excellency the President and various senior members of government and ministers will be present. The preparations are all intact. We are ready and to go. The hope is that God willing, if the rains we expect the downpours, they will start as scheduled and end in good time for people to go home. So by 7 a.m. we are hoping that guests will be seated at the State House, the forecourt of the State House, for the celebrations to start at 8 a.m. and at the mosque complex at Kanda for guests to be seated by 11 a.m. for the celebrations to start at 12:30 p.m. All under the theme of resetting our values to build the Ghana we want.
Well, Rob, let's stay on that theme this morning. I like to think that you may have picked the theme way before today. But surely it's going to sit just a day after Ghana is experiencing a lot of floods and many other things that as a country we definitely do not want to see or experience. How well is this theme sitting? How well do you think the people of Ghana will accept this theme?
Well, first and foremost, we would like to share our closeness to those who have been affected by the floods, and to pray for the repose of the souls of those we have lost. But we know this conversation is not new. The experience is not novel. So it is rather sad that we have to come back to this episode year after year. We know that it is an amalgamation of various factors. Some planning issues, some issues of waste management, some developmental issues. So it's a togetherness of factors which are not beyond our efforts if we wanted to put our hands to the plow. Sadly, because of all of this, we have to come back to that. And I think that this is where this year's theme for our celebrations come in handy, because all of these are values. If we wanted to put into action, that would help us solve some of these things. Because as we've said, what the country needs is not only technological advancement or economic development, but also all of these things anchored on values of hard work, values of accountability, values of discipline, values of seeking the common good and respect for the dignity of others, values of righteous living and all of that. So if in fact our development and our living were anchored on such values, then we would be able to help overcome some of these rather sad episodes in our nation's development.
Rev, but personally, how has been your assessment so far of the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving? How has it been? Has it been impactful? Has it become just an exercise? And as well, because it's happening at very selected areas, how are you rallying Ghanaians to be part of this?
Well, to the first question, I think the very first impact I can sense, even from your question, is the question itself. How we are living as a people, whether a call to pause and to pray and to reflect is making any impact. That itself, I think, is a very positive, impact of the event. The fact that we are asking ourselves where we are as a people and where we are going, for me, is a very useful takeaway from the celebrations from last year. So we are very glad that already now people are not just seeing the place of God in our nation building, but also our own our own responsibility in nation building? Once we're asking that question, it means that the program as taught by conceived by His Excellency the President is beginning to have some positive effect across the country. The various regional ministers and district chief executives are going to lead in these celebrations, and we will be following all the celebrations to see how they pan out. But also after that, we will sit down with the various people who took part in the celebrations to assess not only how the celebrations themselves happened, but how we intend the celebrations to make some serious impact for our nation going forward. Because as you know, there's a life which is not examined is not worth living. Yeah. So we are hoping that after these celebrations, we can examine our lives as a people and to see how, after seeing the place of God in our nation building, we are also assessing and questioning our own way of living these values that I've spoken about, to see that we are able to lift Ghana to a higher valued country.
Right. Finally, which notable men of God and men of women are we expecting to see tomorrow or to hear from tomorrow?
To put it simply, tomorrow all men and women of God of goodwill will be there, but the Christian service will be preached at, or the sermon at the Christian service will be preached by Reverend Dr. Eric Nyamiche, who is chairman of the Pentecost Church, but also the chairman of the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council. So he will be giving the sermon at the Christian service. Okay. The Muslim service will be led by His Eminence, the Chief Imam Nuhu Shaributu. He will be there, even though a junior cleric Dan himself will be giving the sermon. He will be the one, the Chief Imam will be the one leading the Islamic service, and we are inviting everyone across the country to come and together to pray. Whilst we encourage all to come and pray, we are hoping that no one will come in party colors, because it is a national event and not a party event. Right. So please don't by all means come in celebratory colors, but don't come in your party colors, as that will mar the intention for the program. Rev, I'll tell them louder. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining us. Real pleasure to have this conversation with you, very Reverend Father Michael Kweku. Do have a great day in preparation for tomorrow. You as well stay with me. We'll be back after this.
Through every stage of life, let's go. Some things simply stay with us. The spirit of never giving up. A throwback to a bygone era. Love was service. The silent statement of love. A forceful gesture that deepens bonds, balancing work and life. Every drop refreshes, every sip hydrates, just as it should. I am awake, one for life. Drink water, drink awake. Supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is...
Prayer invites God. Prayer is an invitation. And it's a divine summons that summonses God to step in the affairs of men.
What this conference has done for me is indescribable.
Now let the angels who excel in strength, who do his command, who hearken to the voice of his word, let them go to war and to work on my behalf. I say so. I am the Redeemer of the Lord.
And at the end, he said, you will testify. And I felt something shift.
I went back home and I couldn't sleep. It was like the prayer was locked up in my spirit.
Prayer is a weapon of enforcement. Enforcing what has been done. Praying about the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. That is not unbelief. That is enforcing the word, enforcing the will of God, superimposing the will of God over the forces of evil.
Everywhere the summit is, I will be there.
It doesn't matter what. Prayer still works. Put your hands together, shout yes.
Hey, Junior, you're the shitter.
Remember shit that your mama made.
Hey, Charlie, you bring up Joe.
Nah, no bring up. So that's a stuff.
Enjoy homemade taste of shito, always with Didi Shito.
Stop taking all the shito now.
Carefully selected ingredients, no preservatives, no colorants. Didi Shito, if you do need. This advert is FDA approved.
Bounce for the American defense to deal with. And they scored! A wonderful volley!
The stadium is live. The fans are roaring and the excitement has officially kicked off. It's Gold Rush season at Ghana. This World Cup season, the match isn't just on the pitch. It's happening right in your home. Build your home stadium with world-class cinematic TVs, powerful sound bars, and home theaters, high-power speakers, laptops, tablets, and projectors for the ultimate streaming. Compute Ghana is delivering unbeatable deals, not just discounts, but a chance to win 100-inch 4K smart TVs, mobile phones, laptops, and many more. Just purchase items 1,000 Ghana cedis and above, and automatically enter the raffle draw. Shop online at ComputeGhana.com. Call on 0302-752020. Go Rush season, the ultimate football experience, only at Compute Ghana.
So this strategy will lead. Oh no, not again.
Say, relax. The generator will come on now.
The generator is not working.
Why stress yourself when the experts are just one tap away? Introducing Left Power, the smart emergency support app from Left Signature Limited. With Left Power, certified engineers respond fast, anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stories.
Hello, sir. This is Left Signature Limited. The request has been received and our engineers are already on their way. Please relax. We've got you covered.
This is professional. Every Left expert is certified, verified, and can be tracked in real time. Oh, you'll know they're coming before they even arrive. From electrical engineering and solar power systems to data center management, cloud services, smart automation, and software development, Left Signature delivers excellence, fast, reliable, and professional. Left Power.
Your solution is just one tap away.
Available on Play Store and App Store.
Welcome to Sulas Enterprise, the shop that deals in industrial machinery such as generators, rice millers, water pumps, compressors, and mowers. From the smallest to the largest capacity, at Sulas Enterprise, we give you nothing but the best from the best brands such as Honda and Perkins. When it comes to our generators, we also sell mowers coming from brands like Honda, Briggs and Straton, and Oliuma. And when it comes to our water pumps, we offer you brands like Lily, Prudin, and Pedrolo water pumps. We also sell rice millers for all capacities. We are located at Spintex, Kakalika Plaza. Also, find our various locations as displayed on screen. Or call us on the following numbers: 0243-839-463 or 0554-154-416 or 0240-541-493.
Sulas Enterprise, where quality meets affordability.
It doesn't take much to protect what we love. Sometimes it begins with prevention. Care is not always loud. It is attention, caution, and doing small things right.
Fire safety starts with me, being careful every day.
Good Conduct, Great Life is brought to you by
Indomie!
Tastes great!
More Kiwo inside, more to share. Kiwo Gari Soaking Mix, Taste of Ghana.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number 1, let's bring Baby Girl. Let's bring. You did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes.
If you want quality, this be where you belong.
Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it they carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it they make water they flow. Syntex, and you're strong, and you're tough.
His introduction raised eyebrows.
You are Josh Weissman?
Yes, I am. And he loved the life of crime.
And how did you come by such detailed insight of an armed robbery syndicate?
I am an armed robber.
Hey.
Roverman Productions, in partnership with National Theatre, presents an Uncle Boy's play, Love and Handcuffs.
Remember the ovulation. Action tonight.
Hey, David Fifi, that you were wicked man. After bringing the police to shoot me, all you are thinking about is sex. I am going away. Going to my mother's house. Hi.
Shows on the 26th, 27th, and 28th June, and 3rd, 4th, and 5th July at the National Theatre. Rates 300 CDs for single tickets, 500 CDs for couples, and 225 for the loyalty card. Tickets are available via the Rover Uber Short Code *365*535#. Joy FM, Canal Offices, Airport Shell, Tamale Community 11 Shell, and so much Shell back on a total. Call 050-554-6010. Sponsors: Koba, Bacana, Potica, and M Notify. Government Production. Be the difference.
Through every stage of life,
let's go.
Some things simply stay with us. The spirit of never giving up. A throwback to a bygone era. Love was service. The silent statement of love. A thoughtful gesture that deepens bonds, balancing work and life. Every drop refreshes, every sip hydrates, just as it should. I am awake, one for life. Drink water, drink awake. Supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FD.
Charlie, again, one more. Bring the shit up fast.
Remember shit that your mama made. For home church, all of and watch it. Back to school.
But the shit on the hook me.
Enjoy homemade taste of Shito, always with Didi Shito. Carefully selected ingredients, no preservatives, no colorants. Tidishito, if you do need. This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine a family without a home. Imagine a song without a voice. Imagine a church without prayers. Imagine a government without citizens. Imagine democracy without journalists. Imagine a world without the media. Life is full of issues and stories about people, communities, and governments. Stories that have to be told by well-trained journalists. That's why you can't imagine news without Joy News.
Well, thank you so much for staying with us, because I always tell you that the debates that happens in studio before we come on is usually quite intense, but thank you for staying. This morning, we shall be joined by Dr. Bernard Tutu-Buahiri. He's a lecturer of political marketing, University of Education, Winneba, and Kojo Poku is Executive Director, INSTEB, and member of NPP Communications Team. Hobson Adoy is Director of Field Operations for the United Party. Honorable Mohammed Bakhtalia is MP Sisala East and board member for TOR. We shall get into the matters arising, but let me take a tour. Let's go on a trip to myjoyonline.com and bring you some updates or our top stories. Quickly on MyJoy Online, top story and biggest story would be, we're really very sorry. Muntaka apologizes as flood disaster claims 9 lives. You may have seen or heard that we've lost some lives. In fact, the institutions are suggesting that there could be more lives that we have lost, but the record number is 9 so far. If you get on myjoyonline.com, you would find more. Now, Accra flood death toll rises tonight as rescue teams intensify operation. That's details of our top story. Still on that, woman and 2 children found dead in flood waters at Dom. Yeah. And as well, no drainage system could have stopped Accra flood disaster. Muntaka still be giving an update. And President Mahama proposes new city to decongest flood-prone Accra after Monday disaster. Just maybe, reality as well is fuel prices set for sharp drop from July 1 as petrol, diesel and LPG gets cheaper. Deadly flood alerts came at 11 p.m. when most Ghanaians were asleep. Interior Minister as well still been giving an update on what's been happening so far. Now, this morning, we're not just going to be discussing the weather. We're going to be talking about the systematic failure that cost lives. And I've just been telling you that we have lost 9 lives and possibly could even be more. Yesterday, you know that the N1 Akosua stretch, the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, they all became rivers. Maybe, you never know. The skies will open again today, or will open tomorrow, or the next day. Are we ready? How much more water can we take? But before we get into the conversation, because the president has been giving a few directives, who's supposed to be held accountable? Who's supposed to do what? Have we outlived our drainage systems? Is there anything we can do at all? Do stay with us. Before we get into that conversation, watch this.
Last Monday night's rain claimed at least 8 lives in flash floods that followed. One of the very tragic outcomes is the death of Dr. Aya Hayfron, whose grieving husband affected many others. It wasn't the first time lives have been lost to floods, though. Headlines capturing floods in Accra as predictable as the rainy seasons that cause a havoc, and yet nothing seems to change. Jojo Kobna in the following report recaps why it can sometimes get very frustrating having to report on problems which seem to never go away.
Even though I could go back many years, let's start from 2014.
Now, many parts of the national capital today have been inundated as choke drains have made it difficult for rainwater to freely flow. This is not the first time Accra has been hit by floods, and almost every year the story or the reasons being given for the floods are the same.
In 2015, we reported again.
The cycle of flood is here again, and year by year, major cities in the country get flooded. The reasons, as always, are the same. Lack of planning, pouring of waste into drains, and a host of other human activities. When will it ever stop? What will it take to save our cities from the perennial vulture cycle of flooding?
We're still in the capital and on the floods. Several residents within Aveno in Accra were temporarily thrown out of their homes by the flash floods. The affected residents are unsure how or where to pass the night.
Then the fire and flood disaster occurred, killing 150 people. Musicians sang about the flood disaster. Politicians promised never again.
Drastic steps are necessary here if we are to permanently address this perennial problem. We'll intensify our efforts to expand and modernize our drainage system.
But in 2016, we're back to the same script.
Hydrological engineer at the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, Wise Ametefe, has blamed yesterday's flooding on blockages in channels leading to the Odo drain.
In 2017, an elaborate plan was announced to once again end perennial flooding.
The government will, in the coming days, announce a comprehensive plan to deal permanently with the perennial flooding in the capital, Accra. The city's mayor, Mohamed Nania Eduante, says the new comprehensive plan will focus on redesigning the drainage system.
Clearly, we are back to the same pointers again. Journalists have reported, musicians have sung about it, politicians have promised, yet nothing has changed.
And I'm not looking forward to coming to sit here next year and talk about how many people are dying because of flood. We certainly need the authorities to do something about it.
Yeah, so surely you know where I'm getting with this, and you know where we're all getting with this. In fact, our put together suggests that even 2014. But you recall that last time I took you to the front page of the Daily Graphic, 18th April 1960. So Accra in Ghana has been flooding even before I was born, even before my mother was born. But we're back again talking about it. It is the same script, same problem. We haven't changed a bit. But you never know, maybe today's conversation will ignite a little level of change. And so this morning, let's start with the president's directive. Says that they're going to be quite tight, a little more on buildings that are in waterways, illegal structures, and also strengthening all of the institutions that are supposed to help fight this problem. But the president said it himself, right? If you missed it, here's what the president said.
We just finished an aerial tour of Accra to inspect the flooded areas. Unfortunately, the flooding has been very extensive today for several reasons. One, the recorded rainfall today is one of the highest in several years. The Meteo are looking at approximately 140 millimeters that was dumped on Accra. Last year, the maximum rainfall was 56 on a single day. And so the volumes are much higher. And so there are many issues to the flooding in Accra. There's climate. If you look at the rainfall pattern from 2024, 2025, 2026, you see that increasingly every year we're getting more rain in Accra than we used to get. GMETs say that in 2024, for a period of 30 days in June, we had 85 millimeters of rain. And then in 2025, it increased to 172. And then in 2026, for the same 30-day period in June, it increased to 333. And so the waterways are not getting a chance to recover before more rain is dumped. And the wet days are more. Out of 30 days, 22 days, it kept raining. And so there were only 7 dry days or 8 dry days in June. And so that's the climate side. That is an act of God that we can't control. But then there's also the engineering and the man-made causes. That is, like I said before, Accra is built between 2 natural bodies, the Kwapim Mountain Range and the Atlantic Ocean. And before Accra was built, the streams used to flow through this plain to reach the sea. Now, the British brought the capital to Accra, and in those years, it was not a problem because Accra was a very small city. But as the population continues to increase and people continue to build, it restricts the path of the streams on their way to the Atlantic. So that's an engineering problem. We need to see how to open the channel so that the water can pass. But then there's also the other aspect, which is attitudinal and human behavior. That is dumping garbage in the drains, putting all kinds of items in the drains after we finish creating waste. Instead of sending it to the appropriate place, even in the air, we discovered many illicit dumping sites where the wetlands are. People have gone to create a waste dumping ground, and they charge 20 cedis for the aboboya to come and fill the waste into the wetlands. And when it has filled sufficiently, they sell the land to people to come and build on it. And so we need to, one, look at it from an engineering perspective in terms of how we can open up the channels, but at the same time, look at how we can identify all the buildings that are obstructing the waterways. We've said this many times. I'm tired of hearing it, but anytime you begin to take action and you start breaking houses, people think that government is inhumane. But when the problem arises like this flood, it affects everybody. And so all of us have been affected because of the conduct of a few people blocking the channels and preventing the water from passing. And so we'll call a National Security Council meeting. We're asking every district to identify, together with the Works and Housing Ministry, where the blockages in the channels are as they pass through the district assemblies, so that we can earmark those places for removal. We'll not only break the houses, we have to move the rubble out of the way, because there's no use breaking a house and leaving the rubble in the waterway. It's just the same as leaving the house. And so it's going to be quite a major issue in order to resolve the problem of Accra. But ultimately, the other solution will be to decongest Accra. And that's why we're planning that we move some of the city out, that is the major government departments, and then also create a new center of growth so that our people will start building outside Accra in a new city, instead of everybody looking for some space in Accra to build. So, but that's a long-term solution. Like I said, it's a 20-year project. They are still working on the designs. Once they do that, we'll demarcate. People can start buying plots. If they like, they can start building houses. We'll do the roads, bring the water and electricity, so that it eases the pressure on Accra as a city. But I just want to express my sympathy with people who have lost property. Loss of property has been very extensive, and I want to thank the military, NADMO, the police, and the Hydro, Works and Housing Ministry, and all the emergency response team, 48th Engineers Regiment, for the rescue that they did. I've seen many of the videos where people had to be carried out of their houses. They deployed their boats, and they helped to save quite a lot of lives. NADMO will do what it can to try and identify the victims and see how we can just support them in a way in the next few days. I've asked the Minister of Finance to release some money from the contingency fund so that we can do some post-flood relief for persons who have been affected. And so let me again express my sympathy, but let us change our attitude and let us find a permanent solution to this Accra flooding problem. We shouldn't become like the vulture who, anytime it is raining, he says as soon as it stops raining, he'll repair his roof. And then as soon as it stops raining, he says, oh, it has stopped raining, so there's no need to repair the roof. This time should be different.
Right, so even the president says that he's tired of hearing it. Now, he mentions that I think he tries to put the challenge into various themes. He mentioned climate change, focusing and says that this is quite extraordinary. From 56 millimeter of water to 140 is a lot. So we'll keep that in mind. He also thinks that it's human behavior, which the NPP vehemently disagrees that it's definitely not human behavior. He also puts it to another area, says that it's engineering. I definitely will go around the desk or table, ask my guests what they think really is the problem, which one they agree. But you know that you saw the Works and Housing Minister just right by the president. Right after that aerial view, they put together a statement. It's about 16 paragraphed statements. I am going to the response, government's response for you. So if you have the statement, it is from 8. I'm reading it from the Works and Housing statement. It says that in response to the ongoing emergency, The ministry, through the Ghana Hydrological Authorities, working closely with the National Disaster Management Organization, the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, Metropolitan, Municipal and District Assemblies, security services and other stakeholders to implement immediate response measures. Now, these interventions include the deployment of emergency response teams, evacuation supports where necessary, the provision of relief items to displaced persons, ongoing assessment of damaged infrastructure, and intensified drainage clearing activities in critical flood-prone areas. Number 10 says that over the past few weeks, the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council is collaborating with MMDAs, has undertaken extensive enforcement operations across the city to address activities that contribute to flooding. These actions have focused on removing illegal structures and obstructions along drainage channels, waterways, wetlands, and other critical natural water retention areas. The ministry will continue to work with all relevant authorities to intensify and sustain these enforcement efforts, particularly in protecting waterways and preserving natural drainage systems. In addition, the ministry is taking urgent steps to undertake extensive desilting and evacuation of major drainage channels and waterways that have become silted and discharge of stormwater runoff. These efforts will be complemented by critical construction works, including the development of new drainage channels. Please highlight that part for me. The development of new drainage channels aligned with naturally occurring water pathways to restore and enhance the efficient movement of water. Okay. Government has also advanced broader interventions, including the expansion and rehabilitation of drainage infrastructure, enforcement of development controls in floodplains, strengthening of early warning systems, and restoration of wetlands, lagoons, and natural water detention areas to reduce natural flood vulnerabilities. While these efforts continue, the ministry urges all residents, particularly those living near rivers, lagoons, drains, and low-lying areas, to prioritize safety and strictly adhere to established flood safety protocols. It goes on, and just earlier is what I've been telling you what exactly the government has said that it will do. Here's what we're going to do this morning. If you're watching me this morning, how's the situation in your area? I'll put our phone numbers on the screen. Call me if your situation is not any better, if you still need some help. Just give me, we're also putting our Zoom link app. Maybe you cannot describe the situation me via Zoom. I'm more than happy to take delivery of all of those calls and interactions, so stay with me. But gentlemen, thank you again. You've been very calm with a lot of intro that we've had to do this morning. I'm inviting phone calls and also Zoom. But in your areas, how is the situation, first of all? Maybe let me start with my immediate left. Director, how's the situation in your area?
Oh, my area is cool.
Okay.
We are lucky we did not experience any flood in our area. I live around Kojo.
Okay.
And it's okay. But one thing I've identified is on the boundary road between Chisami and then Eduante. On the left, there is a gutter across there. Listen, there's a storage building there. Authorities should get there as early as possible. Either than that, as soon as possible, we may experience some kind of disaster there.
Where exactly? Between Shezami?
Shezami and Eduante.
On the left, is it before the shell?
On the left, before the shell.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
They should go there and check where they need to, stop certain things they need to stop. We should not wait till that day. We need to do it. Emefa, I know we'll come to the substantive matter.
We shall.
So this is all I can say for now, that I'm drawing the attention of the authorities. That is Ayawaso West Wogon. The Regional Coordinating Council should also take interest in that. Works and housing and then the roads, they should also take interest in that. Are you getting it?
Okay.
Look at that beautiful road. Someone just put a heap of sand. Chippings, he has finished the work and then left the rest there. He doesn't care. Whatever will happen. I've been using that road for some time. And this year, you see two places around the same prison that No. If you drive there, you splash people with water.
Yeah.
Why should that happen? We need to take charge of the
This would mean
development
that
of
boundary road as well extends to the runabout that can take you
from
to Kojo
Shashi
and even
straight
to Medina.
Yes.
You know that runabout?
Yes.
The road has become so bad. It collects water like a bowl.
That's right.
I'm quite familiar with
Yes.
that route. Okay, so the president puts it in the 3 areas, as I was telling you. Which one do you identify with?
I thought you
Is it
want us to go
engineering?
around and talk about the area. You want to do it in
Yes, I will, yeah. Which one do you identify with? It will set the tone of the conversation for me. Is it that yesterday's rain was just a special kind of rain? And no country, even if they had good drainage systems, could still collect that amount of rain that came? Or you think it's human behavior? Or you think it's engineering?
It's all together.
All together.
All together.
Okay. Let me go to Honorable. Honorable, your area first, or if you know somewhere in your area, or somebody or a friend in the area, if you can tell us the situation, and also which of the challenges that you're identifying with.
Let me say a very good morning to you, my brothers on the table here, your team, and the people of Sisala East. Well, it's a Tuesday morning. Clearly, we will have to first also express our deepest condolences to the people we lost, and especially to the families. I think Monday has not been a very good day for people living in Accra, and we all saw what happened. I stay around Kwabenya, and even though Accra is described as a low-lying, and I have a feeling that our place is a bit high, and there has not been that challenge for now.
Okay.
Yeah, there has not been that challenge. Even driving from around Kwabenya, you can see that it's fairly stable.
Okay.
No much problem around that place at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it that the people don't throw trash and drainages?
Yeah.
They don't have enough drainages, or what? What did you identify was different?
Fairly, the layout there seems to be good.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that you don't see so much garbage around that place. I think quite good. I don't know of other places, but where I stay, I think that so far it's been good.
Okay.
People are very responsible and they do a lot of things.
Okay. The president says a lot of things. Which ones you agree to all of it?
No, it's a mixture of factors. You can only weigh the factors which one contributes more. But like the president is simply telling us that we have about 3 solid issues affecting us. One of them we do not have control, and that is the climate issues. You and me cannot stop the amount of water that will fall from the sky. We cannot. But we can also create a system that will let water that falls on the ground to travel to where its destination is.
Okay.
And your attitude to the engineering systems and the kind of vision we have as a people to be able to guide that. And we all know the issues about enforcement of law has become a big challenge here. We know that it's not just President John Ramamani saying. These issues about attitude has been highlighted long, even on the international stage by the former president, Nania Akufo-Addo. We've all seen that because at a point he felt that even putting Ghana's money into an attitude that cannot be corrected is sometimes discouraging. We heard all those statements. So I think that, the president just actually clearly identified the solutions and even telling us, the president told you at a point, sometimes he's tired hearing about this because anytime we try taking actions, the Ghanaian sets in.
Please stay with me. Let's stay on that, Ghanaian. Kojo, I'll come to you, but I have a caller from Laboni. Jeffrey, good morning. Tell me, what's your situation this morning?
Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, Jeffrey. Good morning to you. Yeah.
What I want to say is that
Nice express.
year, God willing, we'll come back and talk about this same issue. Yeah. I beg you. Thank you.
That's all you want to say? He decided to be Amos this morning. Give us a prophecy.
Yeah, but
he said that what?
He says that next year, God willing. He even said God will will it for us to sit here and talk about the same issue.
Yeah. I think he's just corroborating what the president is saying. The Ghanaian will set in when the measures have been taken.
Okay. Well, Kojo.
Morning.
Yeah, morning.
I think this morning I'll greet Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and sympathize with all the people that have had their property destroyed by flood. I also want to say a good morning to my very good friend who is trying to be a youth organizer in the Bebiani and Yansubekwa area. Very sharp guy. His name is Ameniampon Abuaje Andrews. I want to wish him good morning and I'm encouraging him to do better things in life. And
is he winning?
Well, I hope he wins. They called him Honorable Adeti. Okay. He's been doing a lot in the area, and I wish that the Nania Sobekwai area see him as a good youth organizer and vote for him. But you know what? My area, I'm on the Dodoa stretch, Adenta Dodoa stretch, and we don't have floods in the area. That area is well drained, as Honorable said, including the Kwabenya area. Sometimes the most floods are in the basins, the low-lying area when you're coming into the valley. That's where, but most of us in the high hills area, you don't get that. But if you see a friend's house in Chado,
in Airport Hills.
My friend's house in Chado, that he sent a video to me. He was upstairs, and I could relate because I have once lived in Kaneshi, North Kaneshi, Blue Kiosk area, where the CMC floods are, where that area used to flood in the early 2000s, around 99, 2000, that area was a flood-prone area. And now, because of the numerous drainage that's been built for the water to now go through the industrial area, that area has, the floods have subsided in that area. But I can relate. You go out and around 5 o'clock, you are called that don't come home, try and find somewhere to be till about 4 a.m. Right? And from 5, when you finish work, you can't go home until about 3, 4 a.m. when the floods would have gone down.
Kojo, please just hold on for me. Let's go on phone and go to Sukura and speak to Peter. Hello, Peter. Good morning. What's your situation in your area?
Yeah, good morning. My name is situation is yes.
Oh, no. Peter, maybe you want to reposition and then try again so that I can hear you clearly.
Hello, is it better?
Yes, this is better, Peter. What's your situation?
Yeah, I think yesterday I didn't call you. I phoned you when you were having that. And so
No, Peter, I'd have my guys really just check the line again. Maybe you try again so we can hear you. I'm so sorry. Network is not helping this morning. But let me just try. Mohammed Isaku, you're joining us via Zoom. Mohammed?
Yeah, my area is a little better.
Okay.
But unfortunately, most of the people I communicated with in other areas, particularly around Medina, where, what's the name? The honorable member was saying, on the boundary road. I think moving towards, there's a filling station at the top there, Icon filling station. When you move down a little, the place was terrible. The cars couldn't move. People couldn't go to work. It was scary.
Yeah.
And so I think that if authorities are hearing, they should take a second look at that place. Particularly, I don't actually know what the issue is. Even when it is not raining, that place is flooded. So I know authorities are hearing and they will consider working on that. Another place is, there's a school called the Baba Yara School.
Okay.
There's a stretch, a very big gutter, moving from, I think, the Medina Market area to the Baba Yara School. Recently, I realized that they've done something about it. But yesterday, it was an eyesore. If you were passing there, you wouldn't like to see what is happening. And it's a threat to the people living in that area.
Okay.
So if authorities are hearing that side, they should look at their work for us. And
do I still have you, Mohammed?
Yeah, can you?
Okay. Yes. All right, Mohammed, thank you. So Medina on that area as well. Thank you so much. I have another caller. Hello?
Yes. All right, Mohammed.
Okay, we'll try and fix that error. And then, but Kojo, you were talking about where usually will flood and where this gentleman is describing. Yeah.
So I think that, but I think when they call, can you ask them if NADMO has been to them?
Yeah, sure.
It's very key. We understand what the NADMO is doing around the country as well. So if they call, just ask if NADMO, because I think a lot of people are not seeing the impact of and the assistance from NADMO.
Okay.
But
yesterday we put up all of the emergency numbers that they can call because NADMO can only get to places that they can hear and also see.
Well, there should be a command center. I don't think people, how can I call when, I mean, how am I calling? My phone is submerged, I'm in flood, how am I going to call? There is a look, that's the thing I don't get. The whole country is wired with a CCTV. There should be a command center. The police can look at various areas and see the problems in other areas. So you're saying somebody should call. The person is submerged. There's a woman who, I don't know how she did it. I saw 1 minute, she now came out from a wall and climbed the wall. The woman, I don't know if she walked underneath the water, because I know she couldn't swim, because you didn't see her swim. The next minute, her house was flooded. The next minute, she was climbing the wall, and from there, under the water.
Your survival mode will be
You understand? So it's difficult for her to say that people should call. There's a national surveillance system in place. Where
the calling is that maybe you have a problem. I don't have it. I can see you.
Yeah, but the whole area is affected.
So
my point is that
I should be able to call.
Well, that's
for
fine.
you.
I think we can look at that. But my point is there is a national surveillance system. NADMO should be able. There is these helicopters we are told is bought for the police. What was that helicopter doing yesterday? Were they grounded for what? To fight crime? How are you going to catch a thief from the sky? Yesterday was when we should have seen all those helicopters in the sky looking at places where they could direct the disaster response. You know, but for me, the things the president said, please, let's get to it and digest it better. I don't want to say this or that. Please, the man has been president for 4 years. In 2024, he had various Facebook posts about how urgent flooding will be when he becomes president. He is president for 18 months, and this is what we are seeing. He's formed all the task force there is. Please, when we get there, we'll discuss it.
We'll talk about it. So.
Well, Doug, yesterday when we reported the Winneba Cape Coast route, it was that bad. I couldn't recognize that road yesterday when my colleague Carlos was reporting from them. How's Winneba, by the way? How was that place? What report are you receiving this morning?
All right, good morning to us. Good morning to our viewers. And a special good morning to my cousin in Kumasi, Cocoa Marketing Company. His name is Emmanuel Osei. Obviously, the Winneba Road, since the inception of the rains, has not been good. But I've suffered 2 breakdowns already with my car as a result of, stagnant waters. You don't know where to pass. The only place left for you is to go through the water, the stagnant water. By the time you get to Accra, already your car, you must take it to the mechanic, for attention. And so yesterday I wasn't surprised. There was heavy downpour in Winneba. Yesterday, some students couldn't even come to write their this semester exams. And it was a problem, a major problem for us. Definitely we need to find spaces within the calendar to, put some of these things there.
No, please just hold on a second. Let's go to Akosua and speak to this caller. Hi, good morning. Tell me your name and tell me the situation in Akosua.
Good morning. My name is Iba Shakibu, calling from Akosua, Galilee.
Okay.
Yeah. My greetings to you and your panel. Yesterday, Serena, especially.
I think it's your phone.
I'm sorry again. Yeah, I'm sorry again. We'll try and fix our phone lines, and then I'm just so sorry if you're unable to. If you reach me and I still can't hear you, we'll try and fix that phone problem. Okay. So my friend calling me from Akosua, Galilee. Let's try again. Hi, can you hear me? No. Okay, we'll try and fix that, please. Let's fix that before we maybe pick other calls. But Doc, you are on. Michelle, when they get the name of, who do I have on Zoom? Okay, we're trying, but Doc, let's proceed.
So yesterday, I wasn't surprised. I was in Accra on Saturday for some funeral engagements, and I needed to stay all over for, media works. And so I couldn't go through the houses of yesterday. I actually escaped it. But yesterday, from my house to TV3, Media General, it was bad. Very bad. I had already set off else I would have come back home.
Did you see it in front of the Jubilee House?
Yes. It was
Did you see that?
bad.
In
Cars
front
were
of Jubilee
not actually
House?
moving around there, you know. So I had to make a U-turn, come back to the bridge again, and then go through, you know, in front of Prudential.
Yes,
you know,
yes. Get the corner there.
Yeah. You know, it is that bad. And you see, what baffles me is the fact that these problems have persisted over years. Like you said, even when your mother wasn't born. So even during that period when Ghana's population was a bit smaller, that we could have done something. I don't know what happened. We decided to ignore. Now that population is growing, peri-urban centers and areas, new developing areas, you know, springing up all over, it becomes a bit problem and challenging, you know, for any government, you know, to tackle this within the shortest possible time to bring solutions. And I think that we are equally not helping, you know. So if
the
you are
president
not
is not
careful,
wrong after all. Our human behavior.
yes.
Okay.
So if you are not careful, by the time we wake up from our slumber, you know, the whole city of Accra, I mean, look at the pictures. When I got to the circle area yesterday, then I was alarmed and thought that on the bridge what I saw, the Addo River, and I knew that the moment it breaks, it bounds. That will be there. That is going to bring a very big problem for us. And the prediction was true. I mean, around 10, 11 o'clock, 12 that way, when I got back to the bridge, what I saw. And I believe that we are going to suffer. I mean, travelers are going to suffer today. Most of the buses.
They're going to, the buses were submerged.
Most of the buses.
I hope people's engines are not broken. Doc, give me a minute. Let me go to Samuel Odro, who's joining us via Zoom. Samuel, I see you joining us on Zoom. Samuel, share your thoughts. What's the situation in your area? Okay. Right, let's get back into the studio. Okay, so Director, let's get into the conversation now.
Yeah.
So if you follow the Ghana Meteorological Agency, their projections and all of that, I like to think that heavy rains have become our new normal.
That's right.
And so I'd be surprised if a government or a decision taker says that because the amount of rain that came yesterday was unexpected, I'd be surprised that it was unexpected, because if you follow the trend, it will tell you that the amount of rains that have been coming from last year to this year, they're not quite small. So why do we still have the size of drainages that we have? There are drainages that exist like before I was born, like I like to call it the 1970 kind of drainages. We know the truth. Why are we still? Why are we pretending we don't know the truth?
All right, I think I just try to put down some few points to deal with. But before then, you know, not long ago we saw Dubai.
Director, so that I don't interrupt you, I'm just going to give the phone call a last try again. I don't want to interrupt you when you're speaking. So, Kwame, you're calling me from Wager. Try, hopefully this network works. Can you hear me? What's the situation in Wager?
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning to your panel.
Morning.
You see, the way things are going, we are sitting on a time bomb. By the year 2040, when things go like this, there will be no place called Accra anymore. By 2040.
Okay. Well, guys, I tried. I really wanted you to be part of today's conversation because the conversation is really about us all. But my phone lines are not quite kind to me this morning. Director, let's go back to
so like I was saying, in Dubai, we saw the whole city flooded, where they have the best of drainage system and all that. But because of the volume of the water, the city was flooded. So Ghana is not exceptional that we have this amount of volume. The volume of water, and then we can escape. But you see, what President said, I think putting all together, I agree with him. The 5 points that I've put down, the main causes, which is well known, and President has already mentioned some. The poor drainage infrastructure that cannot cope with the intense rainfall. 2, our choke drains and gutters fill with plastic waste. Then burdens on waterways and wetlands, which block the natural flow of water. 4th, rapid urbanization without matching drainage expansion. Then the 5th one is the climate change, which is increasing the frequency of heavy rainfall that we witness this time. One by one, the poor drainage infrastructure. You see, that's where maybe the engineering issue will come in. Are you getting it? If you've noticed, Ghana here, our engineers, as if what they were taught in school, they cannot use their own mind to modify some of the things. Every road construction, you see the same gutter. Are you getting it?
No matter how big the road
No matter how you see the same thing open. No modification. Once they say, oh, the road should be like this, you see it the same thing. Why? You go to other areas, they can maneuver their way through, change the whole architecture system and make sure everything is well. Why is it that Ghana, we cannot do that? We need to, Doctor, let's see, the lecturers, let's see how we can, let the students also use their own design to modify certain things. It should not be what they've been taught, like chew and pour. No, it should not be so. I am saying this, and it's a fact.
I agree.
It's a fact. When we come to the choke gutters, Emefa, that's where the woman behavior comes in. Last I was saying that United Party, previously movement, the only party that had behavioral and mindset change in their manifesto. Apart from that, none of the parties. You see, we cannot build a country where citizens will not be taught how to behave. The patriotism, the spirit of patriotism that has vanished, we need to bring it back. We meet, we don't see even people respecting our national anthem. This World Captain, anytime Ghana plays, the moment they start the national anthem, I stand. And my kids will be laughing. I say, hey, all of you, stand. Are you getting it? One day I was wearing boy sasho.
to pay homage to them.
Yeah. You see, so we need to look at all these things. How are we going to do it? The technocrats, the ministers who are sitting down with, if you are in charge of Ministry of Information, where you have the Information Services Department, and they are not moving to educate people, you have cause to worry.
Yeah.
When you have NCC, is it NCC?
Yeah.
They are there without educating the public. Why? We sit down when the issue happens, like it is happening now. We are busy discussing it. The moment it starts, the sun sets in and there is no rain, we forget about all these things. We need to make sure we do this. The third one, building on waterways. Emefa, this one, the government together of all Ghanaians, let's come together and deal with this ruthlessly.
But
other than that, look, we will all suffer. Few people build on waterways. Like we are saying, those of you at the hilly areas, some time to come, it will come there. When we continue blocking the waterways, it will come there. So let's make sure we deal with this issue. This is the time we need, a drone shoot of the whole Accra city and see where the waterways are. Then we start educating the people.
To be honest, do you think we need a drone shot? Do you not think we know where these...
Oh, we know, but still, there are new channels coming up. There are new channels coming up. We need to look at all these things.
Water don't find new channels. Water always uses the old channel.
Really?
Yes.
I thought water finds its way.
Water don't find new channel. Water always uses the old channels. You see?
So when is
there are rivers and streams in Accra, which we have now turned into gutters. You see, they are not gutters. They are streams and rivers. So when it rains, from time immemorial, like the president said, water goes from that end to this end. And water knows where it goes. You can't tell water where to go. That's why it forces its way into the same area. Why don't you think that when you build on these waterways, the water will use somewhere else? Well, it doesn't. Water always finds, because it's a natural flow. Natural flow of river.
So when you block it,
it would force. It doesn't have any. It'll force its way. It doesn't. You can't divert it. You try. Look, there's an issue in Kumasi. There's a place TUC Junction, where there is a big river that comes down from the Patasi roundabout area down to that TUC Junction going down, right? People try to now do some. Yes, you can't divert it.
I see.
Okay, so I think this is the time to do all those things. Look, you see, when you are moving from, let's say, Osu to Teshi, you get to Labadi Beach. Immediately after Labadi Beach Hotel, left and right, there were these lagoons.
Yes.
Where, all these storms rest.
Yes.
Today, you will not see a drop of it there. Why? The whole place is filled, a new development, and then
that is why Chado is flooded.
Yes.
Because there are two rivers. There are two rivers that comes down. If you look on the map, there are two rivers that comes down from the inner Accra, merges at one around La, and now comes into that lagoon.
That's right.
The Ugbeshi Lagoon. The Ugbeshi Lagoon is now like a small gutter.
I see.
They've created a place called, is it Mapoma or whatever?
Well, there are various now. They've built a hotel. Even recently, somebody has opened a new restaurant in that area.
So, places like Chado, it surprises me because a few people that I know live in Chado are very educated, they are enlightened, they are exposed. They couldn't tell that.
No.
You can't tell.
When they were,
because the rivers will burst their banks. You see, the problem is not when they are low flow. When they're high flow, like the president said, a lot of rain dropped at the same time, and the flow is now high. So when the flow is high, that is what now happens. So the issue is that when the channels doesn't exist anymore, then it turns into something else.
So Emefa, I think we need to deal with that. You are going to Tema. You see our Westland, Ramsar side.
Yeah.
It's almost gone. Everywhere. So what are we going to do? Should we sit down and say, when we break it, someone will... No. But alternatively, I think government will also do well and see if they can secure some land for somewhere, Pram going up there, Afro Road, and say, okay, you are on waterway, we are breaking. If you like, we can give you one plot there, so you go there. I think that will also cushion those who will be...
Did you see this video yesterday?
Yeah, I saw it.
This is Ghana.
Yeah, this is Ghana. What?
Do you know, this
did you see the STC one? The parked STC. Did you see it? The STC bus.
Yeah. Well, that was STC.
Yes.
And the commentary behind this video is that there was a young boy that's on one of those things.
Look at him.
That's him. That's him. Hey,
it's serious.
It's your name.
It's serious. Emefa, you see all this.
So the building was moving.
It's a broken structure.
He was on top.
So you see all these people inside the water there.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, let's say NADMO says, oh, we are going to demolish. You will see this country. The shout and the insult, you will see it. But when it's happening like this, you call on government, we need your help, we need your help. Let us all come together. Yes, we all need the
You're solving the problem bottom, up, down, when it should be bottom up. There's housing deficits.
That's right.
People must
No.
People must live, you know.
You must live.
They were repelled.
You put up your house here, look at the amount of money that people have sunk in their various and this happens to you, and you think it's okay, so it should be there every year. You go through this. No, it should not be so. Are you getting it?
Okay.
So we need to deal with this issue as early as possible. This is the time. We don't need to wait. Where we can see that no, this is a waterway, we need to demolish it.
Okay.
We don't also demolish and leave the debris there. That one will even cause more trouble. So we are appealing to them. The regional minister, I know, she has started doing certain things right. Let us try and do it. Aveno here, when the building collapsed, within 24 hours, everything was cleared. And the whole place, you will not even see that there was an accident there. Are you getting it? So if they are doing demolition, they should be able to also do that. Make sure they clear the way so that when it rains, the way forward, when I come the next edition, I'll
Honorable, so one major problem, I can hear, there seems to be a common theme. Everybody says that there's a problem. We're building in waterways. The MMDAs, I mean, these municipal assemblies, the district assemblies, they are the ones that sign permits for us to build. So is it that they're signing permits and don't know where people are building, or they're signing permits and people are going around the permits that are signed to build at areas that they were not permitted to? Well, it's an obvious problem, does it not?
MFS is an obvious problem with the architects being us as humans. It's the individual and how you sort to. Even in this misfortune, people still think that it's a way to cash out. That's the reality about life. And I am happy you started with your opening vignette. You indicated that this there was a time you showed a newspaper, that was about 1963, where President Nkrumah then brought up a 7-year plan in terms of restructuring or development in terms of brains and all that. That period, that's a 7-year plan to even be able to make sure that our system is well structured, like we had in Tema. Today, 63 years down the line, we are still battling with that. Today, we are raising the topic and we are talking because so far there's a report of 9 people dying. And I'm sure somewhere last week or last 2 weeks, we heard about the Cape Coast flooding, right? That took about 18 lives. So it means that it becomes so central when it's about Accra. That's why we are talking about it more. But the issue is going beyond just Accra, so where we have to be able to have a very holistic view. Clearly, like you spoke about a district and municipal assemblies. Me, as part of the problem being identified, I've seen the nature of our land tenure system being part of the issue. A situation where, yes, government is supposed to control, but most of the lands are controlled by what? Families. Individuals sell lands. We have a department of what? Maybe a land commission in charge of what? Maybe they are giving land titles to people. So people go to build. By the time they even, like somebody started saying that, by the time the person starts, the person knows that even an officer will come and tell you that if you don't want us to be worrying you, just stop work. And it will assume that the assembly has come there. People go meet in the night. Before the following morning, you see that the whole building is up. It's happening in this country. So sometimes I said that while that is supposed to create an ease path for the vulnerable, the wealthy people are rather people who are causing more trouble because sometimes they see themselves distant from the problem. By the time they realize the problem is by them. Growing up, I'm Emefa. I stayed with my sister a lot in Tesano. And if you are in Tesano, that's very close to Alajo. There used to be this perennial flooding around Alajo. I know very well that when the efforts came to construct the gutter here, the kind of resistance people had in this country. I used to walk through River Tend. Yes, I used to walk through Tesano to Kotobabi. There's a cinema called Sem Cinema. It was a huge cinema.
It's called what?
Sem Cinema. Anybody who knows Sem Cinema. Huge cinema base. But they brought everything down and constructed that gutter. And like, the people who are living around that area will tell you that right from 1997, this is part of the worst thing they are experiencing, because when the issue came and most of them lost their properties and loss of lives there, they decided that when President Akufo came and constructed that gutter, it eased the burden of what? Flooding. Reduced it to the barest minimum. Today, what we are having there is a gutter that is filled with what? Sand. Dredging it is even a problem. It has become a political talk in this country. We've spent so much. I read a report that indicated right for 15 years down the line, World Bank has granted us what? $550 million, $655 million.
Which year are you projecting this?
From about 10 years or so.
For in the last 10 years.
15 years.
15 years, because the first tranche of money came in 2018. That's 150 million.
Okay.
Right from 2019 to 2024, that's about $505 million dollars to deal with issues relating to what? Drainage and other things. Yet we are stuck in it. We are hearing news figures being bandied that we need up to $6 or $5 billion to get this problem done. Partly it's resources, largely to is our attitude and commitment to it. That we know. Today we are talking about the buses that have been flooded, submerging water. The Nuplon. I am telling you that if you go to the Nuplon station and you know who fills a garbage into the gutter, they know. They know. So once we don't see it as a collective problem, when it comes, we all suffer it. And that's what the president is reiterating. Today, let's just say that they are going to, we saw Kojo when he decided to remove almost everybody around the railways. What didn't happen in this country? What didn't happen in this country? So we'll go full cycle and come back to the same point. We are moving without any progress. That has always been the issue. So I think that once we all agree as a people, yes, I know today it has come. Somebody will issue a statement making that it's a weak distance. Fine. But me also know you gave an indication right from February. We've been giving indications that from GMET that yes, there will be heavy, but it will help us better. Like before, we had a huge complaints of what the GMET even dealing with what obsolete machines that they cannot predict adequately. Today, I think that they've been refurbished, they are doing quite a bit. But it will help us as a people when we are able to be specific in times. For instance, if you give a monthly alert that in the month of June, it means that the whole month we should be awake. But if we can also zero that to specific time, saying that today we are expecting this amount of water, people should be able to be alert. We remember there was a time in this country where we heard that there was going to be earthquake. Is that not it? Yeah. They gave directions to people where you should go. It happened for some time. In fact,
Honorable, let me draw your attention to this. You would realize that this particular flood, a lot of people were taking aback. Well, they were surprised because usually they will not describe their areas as flood prone. Yeah. So if Ghana Met was even issuing some form of warning, over the years they've lived in that area. If you follow our reportage on Joy News, you hear somebody say that this is where I've lived for years. Yes. I have no built in a waterway, but because of someone else's action, my place. How can a person who knows that they're not in a waterway, they have done everything they have to do right, and GMS has as well predicted a heavy rainfall? Yeah. How can they know that they have to relocate? They have to be safe. They don't know. People are just there knowing that they've lived in their areas and they've been okay. There are new flood areas now. I can dare say that places were flooded yesterday when in the past we never recorded those areas.
Trust me, you can now even be comfortable to say that every part in Accra is flooded. You should say that. Yes. But I'm telling you that it's been common to, we've seen videos where when it's raining, somebody can move from Abelemkwe, walk down to the gutter and pour the rubbish there. People do it. In this country, the people do it.
Even yesterday, we saw someone doing the same.
It will happen. But until we are able to enforce our laws, let's be ruthless about this. Let's understand that when it strikes, everybody's... The only like me, they keep talking plainly and said that if this thing has happened around 2 a.m. in the night, our vulnerability could have been out there for everyone to see. Yeah. This even in the morning when most people were awake. That's why at a glimpse people can run away. Otherwise, the water that entered the houses, if it was around midnight or 2 a.m. when people were sleeping, I am sure we cannot.
Okay. Let me go to Kojo. Kojo, I'm starting off with you on a write-up by Kofi Asare. And Kofi Asare's write-up, you know Kofi Asare, Africa Education Watch. Kofi Asare's write-up on the GARI project is not different from some of the findings we also have looked out for. He says that in 2019, the World Bank approved a loan of $92 million under the component 1 of the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development Project, GARI. Now, to improve drainage and reduce flooding in the Addo River Basin by 2024. Now, this was just the initial phase of component one. However, the entire project, as we know, arrived at a little over $350 million. The expected beneficiaries included Caprice, Nima, Kaneshi, Circle, Kwame Nkrumah Interchange, Kole Lagoon, and 8C outlets. Communities along the Addo drain from Caprice to C, downstream sections of the Addo areas as well, middle and upstream part of the Addo Basin. Essentially, he highlights places where if the project as the World Bank and the government of Ghana at the time envisaged had gone through, these places we shouldn't see being flooded. Now, surely, the component was expected to support dredging of the Addo rain, repair of damaged drains and sand traps, and many others. Well, today, I don't think that if we're counting places that were flooded, we'll take all of these places out. Many say that, why aren't we calling the previous people who superintended such projects, or at the time that they were in government, why aren't we asking them questions?
Well, please hold your thought on that question. I want to start my submission well, then I would veer into the question you asked. See, I think we should look at our current president and the NDC government. In March 2024, sorry, May 30th, 2024, our president wrote on his Facebook wall, the 2024 flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has assured Ghanaians that a new NDC government under his leadership will find an engineering solution to the persistent flooding in the country. He said the next NDC administration will also implement an effective prevention management plan. This will include investing in sustainable drainage systems, clearing structures in waterways, proper waste management, productive blah, 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 right? And he ends his statement by saying this. He said that the NDC flag bearer said protecting lives and properties of Ghanaians should be a top priority of government. That was in May 2024. He comes into, last year, we spoke about floods on this platform, right? There was floods last year. But then in March, he now inaugurated the anti-flooding task force, right? Led by the Deputy Chief of Staff, Stan Dogbe, has all the various honorables in there. You see, there are certain things in this country that if you do not do it well, you do not need a certain lifespan for your marks or your project to be marked, whether the project is marked well or not marked well. Now, let me now go into Garrick. And I will tie the end of what happened with Garrick with the end of what I was just saying. Garrick was launched in 2019. The project effectively was not started until 2021 because of COVID. Because it was effective just around 2020, early part of 2020, when COVID had come in. Mm-hmm. So the beginning of Garrick was quite problematic. In fact, there are even reports that some of the Garrick money was used for COVID-19 prevention and stuff like that, right? Which I think the World Bank gave approval, and there were some audits that were done, how that 64 million was used as part of COVID. 64 million of the first components, yes, 92. Some of the money was used as part of COVID, because there was a clause in the agreement that allowed for emergency something. The government applied to the World Bank, and the World Bank allowed that to be done, because it's a World Bank project. So you say tentatively the Garrick project started around which year? 2022, effectively. Now, there are a component of it that is to do with education, and there's a component of it that's to do with infrastructure. As my brother Hobson said, even in the GTP manifesto, they have a component to do with trying to educate the Ghanaian, because attitudinal change is a key component of whatever infrastructure you want to put in place. So the first phase of Garrick did massively with community engagement and a lot of things in that area. Who spearheaded that? Garrick itself, or the Garrick itself. It's an agency that has been set up So GARID is still an agency. It's still there, right?
Yeah.
So they did, in terms of the community engagement and all the things that came up with that. Then they started the infrastructure phase of the work. But in the infrastructure phase, I think they realized that the money that has been earmarked was not adequate. So they went and got an IDA funding for an extra set of money to be added to it. That was in 2024. And in 2024, I think at the time, the minority walked out because they said that they needed some investigation done in the previous money and all that. But then, 2024, IDA money came on top. When the new administration took over with Ken Ajay as minister, I've seen videos of the World Bank director going to Ken and saying, the Honorable Ken Ajay, and saying that they are still committed to the GARID project. The GARID is a very good project for Accra, right? The Greater Accra Resilient Irrigation Development Project. What has not been seen is the actual improvement in the engineering side, right? But you see, there are two sides to the conversation. We keep bundling everything into one and talking about waterways. In the flats in Accra now, there is a new development that do not need the Ministry of Roads and Highway and Waterways and all that. It is to do with the roads and highway, existing roads that are now flooded. Why? Because the drainage that were done on the roads are blocked. So you see, Accra was a standstill yesterday for vehicular traffic. Why was that? Because now the new phenomena in Accra is not the areas that are flooding, that people's houses are flooding. The roads are flooding. And where are the roads flooding? The new dual carriage roads that has been built. So you're looking at N1. You're looking at the Tetakwashi Gulf, the Siashi traffic light. The Siashi entrance. You are looking at the Golf House. You are looking at the Oponglo. You are looking at other areas where even the Akosua stretch. We always see the Akosua stretch where one side is full and the other side is not. And nobody is doing nothing about desilting the gutters along the roads.
So the gutters, the drainage systems around the roads are okay, except that they need to be desilted.
Yes.
That's just the problem.
That's just it. Because when they built the road, you see, we had open gutters. Then everybody says, oh, we are a moving country, we should have closed gutters. So when you see the beautiful road, you don't see any gutters. There are gutters.
So Kojo, this morning, what should I tell the people of Ghana about the GARID project? That it was signed on paper in 2019, but they really never started in 2019.
No, it did start. It did start. It did start.
Or how much
it did.
Spend?
Oh, God. I have explained what it is.
No, I want to see
that's fine. You are taking me out of it. Let's address an important part of it.
No, it's very important.
It's very important, but I've talked about it. You want to take me back, but let me address this important. The important conversation why I couldn't go to Peace FM yesterday was not because of GARID. It was because the dual carriage roads that we have built are now flooding, and the drainage that goes out of these dual carriage roads are blocked and nobody desilted it. You know the next problem is bringing? Because the new roads that we have now built are now spoiling. After the water now goes down, you realize that there are now potholes on these new roads and all the roads are spoiling. So that is an important part for everybody to know. Now,
we're learning a few things. I'm actually also learning. So given or granted these roads, if the drainage systems are desilted, it will mean that there will be free flow.
The roads will not be blocked.
And the water can now
move on, yes.
And it will move to where?
It will move. It will go. They are gutters, so they will move to where the drains are supposed to go. The flooding in the waterways, which you see the Odona and all those areas, when the rivers and the streams burst their banks, that's what I was saying earlier, that we have streams and rivers in Accra. Like in Kumasi, we have the Subin. It's a river, right? But from time immemorial, what we have done in Kumasi is that we have actually guided the Subin in a way that it is concretely protected so nobody can encroach on the Subin. In Accra, they didn't do that to their rivers and streams. So people have now encroached onto the banks of these streams and rivers. Now they are now into gutters. So what I'm saying is that the issue where a lot of people couldn't go to work yesterday with all the roads at a standstill is not people building on waterways. That is a different problem. No, it's a different problem. Golf house, no, my brother. Golf house, N1, Fiesta Royale, flooding has got nothing to do with people doing waterways.
Because I'm
the river.
I use that route.
Have you seen
from before?
No, it has no. It has never been like that yesterday. Not like yesterday.
Well, I mean,
not like yesterday. Look, my office is in Jolu. My office is in Jolu. You don't go that area than I do. My office in Jolu.
Yes.
I have been in Accra for God knows how many years now.
Everybody has been.
Please, let me. Let's not belittle. Look, there is a problem. Let's not belittle the problem by saying that I've always used that area. No, I'm not. I'm saying that there are two sets of problems. No, hold on. Not Shashi. Fiesta Royale. Yesterday, the traffic on the N1 has never been like this. Secondly, the bypass from airport to Spintex. You see that road yesterday? Where's the waterway there? The right wing
of the airport.
Where's the waterway there? Where is the waterway there? Let's stop this. Wait. Let's address a problem. Yeah. There is two prone problems. There are people that have built in waterways that is creating problems in flooded communities, like the Chado, the Odo areas and all that, Malam. That is a different problem. The new problem in Accra today is double roads that have been built, that when it rains, one side of the road is flooded and cars cannot move. That has got nothing to do with people building in waterways.
Double old roads or double new roads?
Double new and old roads. All of them have covered. Look, I'll give you an example. Yeah. In the East Legon Hills, where they're going to the Nakrum, that new road that has been built. That road, when it rains, one side is flooded, the other one is exactly because
it's engineering problem.
Thank you, because that's the problem. My brother, isn't the silting I'm talking about? The silting, the gutters. Because when they build the road, the road has exits. If you look at all the roads, it has exit where the water is supposed to pass. It's all blocked. Okay. That has got nothing to do with people building in waterways.
Okay, so
let's address that problem.
Hang on.
When we address that problem,
it's not an engineering problem. It's just the silting.
Yes, it's because the gutters are engineering problem. You say that maybe, like you said earlier in your submission, the gutters are smaller and we have now gone bigger. That's another conversation. But my point is that when those entrances are cleared, the water will move.
The engineering problem is that why is it that when it rains, one side of the road will be flooded and the other
that side, the exit for the water is blocked.
Look, you see, the reason why I was saying engineering problem, I've been to America. I've had the opportunity to drive in America. When you are driving in America, there are roads. You've been there, Even in the sharp curve, they were able to build a road that when on top of speed and then sharp curve, you will not
somersault.
I agree. Because when they get there, they raise the road in a way that it will not give you that balance.
In Ghana, I'm talking
about engineering. There are drainage on both sides. Okay. This side drainage is working. That side drainage is not. Let me land on this. You can come in. Let me land on this matter. It's very important because we are compounding two issues and we are putting them all together. What happened yesterday in terms of vehicular traffic? Floods on our roads is unusual. Everybody can attest to it. We have seen it in Akosua. Now, listen. When you have those small entrances, there's a video on TikTok. In the UK, a road was flooded, right? The whole road was flooded. Then the regional engineer from the assembly, whatever came, put some two metal thing. They have a drainage thing. He put the metal thing off it, took the drainage thing. It was clogged. The minute he cleaned the clog, put it back, all the water in less than 1 minute, dashed down. So you see that video. Thank you. So what I'm saying is that our roads are built with drainage. The reason what you are seeing now, the reason your roads, the dual carriage roads, are filled with water is because the outlets for our water from the roads are clogged. That is a problem we need to deal with immediately.
And it's not out of building on the waterway.
Hang on. I mean, I don't think he's saying that building on the waterway is not part of the problem. Immediately, he thinks that there are roads that have drainages, and so if we desilt them the way religiously, we shouldn't be seeing this. My question again is that you want to desill these gutters or drainages so that the water would have a final destination, right? One of the places that the water would have a final destination would be the Odo.
Good.
Right?
Yes.
Yesterday, Odo was flooded, which means that some water definitely found a way there.
Okay, go ahead.
That's a very perfect question. You see, I agree with, he's looking for every reason to say that for the past 18 months, the desilting has not been done. That's what he's trying to do. And that's more political. But trust me, like you are just saying.
So it was done and it's flooded? Was it done and it's flooded?
I'm telling you that.
No, are you saying it's done and it's flooded?
It's been done.
So all the roads that were flooded,
you made the point.
Done.
Kojo, you made the point.
Let me stop that.
No,
I did not
you should rather stop that. No, you should rather stop that. You should rather stop that.
Don't
no,
do that.
Kojo, you should rather
stop that. Are watching you.
And watching you too. You see, it's not only that.
We were stuck in traffic.
No,
the roads are flooded. And you're telling me that I'm trying to say.
I tell you what you are saying.
But that's what it is.
No. Wait. Emefa, you asked a very brilliant question. The question is that even if we open up those tanks and we clean them every day, yesterday, the final destination of the road, the water, is flooded. So it means that it will definitely still take some time for the water to drain to that point. Let me tell you, to get up today and go to that place and see, after 3 hours, all the water went away.
Do you know why?
You're asking me why?
Because it is the flow.
Exactly so.
It's the flow.
Exactly the point.
The reality.
Let me make
this point. I'm just making this point is that as much as we have that problem, I can appreciate what he's trying to say. But like he gave an example of Dubai, that is well drained. In New York, that is well drained. Yet
Dubai is not well drained. It's the worst example you can ever give. Dubai is one of the worst drained cities in the country. Yes. But didn't you see that when it rained in Dubai? Didn't you see that? It doesn't rain in Dubai.
It was not once.
No, it doesn't rain. Listen, Dubai has to. It's a desert.
I agree.
How does it rain in the desert? Dubai is one of the worst drains. That's why they said I kept quiet. Listen, Dubai, they have to induce rain.
I agree.
Of course.
When it rained heavily in Dubai, did you see Dubai? The whole town was flooded.
Yes.
It's one of the worst drains.
They have the drains.
No.
They have the drains. Okay, he's talking about
Dubai is a beautiful city with the worst drainage.
Okay, let me say that New York, last year.
You have been in studio for a while.
How about New York? We want Kojo to.
If you guys want to bury your head in the sand and behave like ostriches, I am telling you what your people can go and do tomorrow. And when it rains, you don't see it. You want to come and tell me.
When Kojo speaks like this,
Kojo speaks like what? Somebody has been in power for 18 months. We are dying and telling me Kojo speaks like what? Kojo speaks like what? The government is been 18 months. Who is the Ghanaian? It is politics. It is politics. When you tell us Ghanaians the government
a video.
Ghanaians are upset.
I've given the video
are very upset.
We are not upset.
No, we are not.
We can't be upset
enough.
Akufo-Addo was standing and he was being lectured.
For 18
Let them play.
Let them play.
Play whatever you want to play. Ghanaians are very upset. Ghanaians have been in power for 18 months and they are very upset.
He's finding a way to bring in white people.
Please mute their microphones. Are they muted? Okay. So let's go to Circle. You recall that yesterday we didn't just deal with water, we as well dealt with fire. And the rubber market in Circle yesterday as well it went down completely. My colleague Steve Mensah is bringing us an update from the rubber market. Steve, what's the situation over there?
That the incident has been brought down, the fire incident has been brought down, but then many of these traders are now counting their losses. Losses, they indicate, are running into several thousands of cedis. In fact, some of them are trying to salvage as much as they can from the fire incident. But then you notice that some of the gates to this market has been closed, and what we understand will be for insurance purposes. We understand that the insurance company is trying to make an assessment of the individuals or traders who have their wares insured to try and get them some claims back. But then so far we've seen some of these traders here trying to count their losses. We've seen some of them shed a tear or two about what the impact will be for them. But then yesterday you'd recall that the water levels were quite high, the current levels were also quite high. So the Ghana National Fire Service indicated that it was practically impossible for them to come to this side to try and douse the fire. we've got an indication, and I'll be giving you very shortly the level to which the water was at this market. But then currently I have some of these traders here, and I just want to engage them on what they've lost so far. Auntie Pacho, good morning.
Morning.
Me who say if you turn up a yaba hanom, me who say oh hanom, adding no hanom.
Me shop was me kita shop be 18. Ni nyina hye. Menya ba kokura ni nyina.
So me person me tell say also was shop back 18.
18. Ni nyina hye mu ne ma nyina.
Then I'll turn what shops we mu.
Me ton ice bucket, drum, ne man de bebre. Ne man bebre no na start here. Ni nyina hye. Obi ensuo to ye hu kwan e fa so a ejatimi beto ha saa. Ma just ne ma nyina ahye. Enu ana enye easy mame. Ka mentimi kura na won kasa. Ba no pe de enya hwe. De besi bia ye.
Enya hwe me person me tia say o say enya hwe a.
Say ye tia sin na ye nkwan wo ho de. Ye be ne den. Eye ya mom. Nso ye be den. De kan say hia moa. So mba bua ba be ye market na maya. Na agina ne nan so anka epe.
O hwa o de sika to ni agwahwe no ho a be say.
Edonso. Ebi abetimi ay 5 billion there. Endukura beka kakra. Edonso.
Sisi a obehwe on e man. Den na aka won.
Ni nyina de de ay condemn kura. Ne man ni nyina ay condemn. Ni nyina minti me mfa hwe.
Enti mo be mpa na odwen say nkofo on bitima bab. Betima bab.
Oh, moi de mi nyamwa mepe. Obia boa ya ni beje. Sa ba ni bebem no be boa ye. Na market na san sorry.
Ya to say ebi mo to say mo amoto on ma wa no mo de loans mo ko gen loans ebe hihye on ma no.
Ende bebre ni di loan na ton ade. Ba me de loan de minji bi da. Mfenton ade da. Bebre di loan ton ade. Bebre.
But what if you more market association for Honka say then on bit my yama na bi.
Oh, mo de sane yancha dant na senkan. Sade I obi ani so ayehye. Ti yancha dant na senkan.
That's be. So that was one of the affected persons, and she's been telling us about what she's lost so far. She says it's running into several thousands of cedis, as we indicated earlier. And as she's been telling us about what she sells and what she'll be losing. I've got some of these persons here also, these affected persons here also, and I want to understand what she would have lost. Auntie, Patrick, good morning.
Morning, at the time.
Hey, yo, now, so to say.
Yamini me boafo.
Me who say unsa yefi.
Many amani ebini. Afa say yes saba bontin. Many amani ni. We be na meton service na pioneer there.
Utra baby na say.
Ningi na say 7 shops. Me wa makoma ko 7 shops. Man fa bibia wo mu. Ni amenya ni. Ebi we endu quarter cry. Baby no inside. Any amen.
It's Osha. What is cattle ho e be saying?
Getting to and make a creating getting to 100 million.
100 million by 100,000 to these.
And I said there be 100,000. Yeah, 100,000. Almost 1 billion. And all currency almost 1 million. Misika crash. Na misika wo. Misika na misika wo.
Misika no.
Ashe. Misika wo. Ashe.
See then I'll say ma.
Oh. Say abanu wo mwe bi yesra ne so obefi obeboa yen na yetumi asha asibio because it's not easy. Yeah, well, my even more university I show them. Yeah, well, mpukrofo depend on us, and we need help.
What help do you really need? Will you need money from government or some benevolence?
Money from government to start the work. What are they? So because you can't do anything with it. But
then what indication have you got maybe from the fire service as to what caused the fire?
No, sir, the fire started before 8 o'clock. Now I was around. And I found Sayaba, Omobabe Shenia, Akosua. And he said, see, I won't mean Casa A and I said B. Right.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, one other affected person, and she's been telling us about what she's lost. And what you'll be seeing will be the remnants of the fire incident. And everything you'd see will be what the damage from the fire had caused. I've got some more people we'll be talking to, but then she's been talking about what she's lost so far. She says she'll be looking at losing about some 100,000 Ghana cedis to this fire incident. And she says she has a lot of dependents, and these dependents will be looking to her for support. From what she does or where she plies her trade, she'll be needing support if she's going to come back into this business. But then we spoke to the Ghana National Fire Service yesterday, and they told us about the market and how difficult it was getting into this market, given the nature of the rains and the flood, and how high the water was. One other thing they told us was that it would be difficult, given the circumstances. This is a rubber market, and you'd understand how combustible these items are. These items will be easily susceptible to inflammable to fire. But then, as I told you earlier, I want to show you what I spoke to you about, the level at which the water got to. This is the level the water got to. This is how high the higher and high the water was. This is how difficult the water was for the Ghana National Fire Service to get close to coming into this market to try and douse the fire. But then it took some close to 12 hours for this fire to be doused. In fact, you would notice that there's a bit of smoke here in this market, even as the fire has been doused. But then you would also notice that these individuals are trying to gather as much as they can from this market. One other thing also, you notice some of these scrap dealers also trying to get as much of the scraps they can from the market. But then this will be the aftermath of the fire at the rubber market here at Odona. The traders are at the other side. You'll notice some smoke also and some fire also over here. But then the traders are at the other side. And from all indications we've got so far, they are trying to gather their wares, trying to pick up as much as they can from this incident. I'll try and get close to some of them so we could talk to as to what support do we need from government in terms of this fire incident. But yesterday also we indicated and we saw some response from the National Disaster Management Organization, the Ghana National Fire Service, and some security apparatus. In fact, we saw the MP for Korle-Klottey and the MC for Korle-Klottey all here present, trying to ensure that the individuals who were trapped here in this market and in and around this market were saved before the fire incident, before the fire was doused. Let me take my time here. Okay. So, Chief, good morning. Welcome to Joy News. I just want to understand from you. I see you are all dirty. Any braba? Then what here Hanum?
I never the Washa, Yashiniama Pa. And your idea I should be Pa. So Washa had me see Mimi Shopney and I'm Johnson. 1, 2, 3.
Then I'll tell Hanum.
I'll share a bucket and a mob near the Addy. Bucket I can see any drum. Near the Addy near Tonga Hasi. I would see a Kofubi to Niamawa. At the Quetchi, Kofu far away, and a Bahasi Bafania Madeco. Cocoton. They say, yeah, that's sorry, and the house any.
But and run Janet Statian, Ulti Union, Ts. Jana Statiana, Omcatros Brahanamana, timing out to say Janet Statiano.
Me Ripovia me Bahantempa. Tiena, Janis Asian. Namoa.
No marketing.
Namoa, any more. If they hey, Henina, a cover. Intense in top penal. Say who say I was wrong. I didn't start free top. na na eshi ntitama yesu ni reduce say e down na ankasa na e sha say ne ma na ankasa no esum nse bibia asesa
sisi mo abena opese government ana obi opese oba opese ye ma
sisi ade mo ade nipa hia bi pa sisi ni nipa bebre eno madurane abom ewa sisi bi hwema bi hwe bibia ha na bi obi osola no pa woni ba bi akwa ha na oba na wabe hozo ni wanya kakra de hen no dede no wanya bi akwhwe ne mane na busuenti ha yesi no akam se sa nipa no obi susu wo ha na oye no eno so ha na ono so ye no nya bibi no de aboa ne busuani bi ana se ne bibi ebi hwe bi ma school ebi so hwe bi ba bi nti se ha na yesi no wa hwe ne ma bibire sa nipa no opportunity na ono nya na nipa ne boa no no se sa de ma ni nyina no ba be ye ena se ne ye adwuma wo ha na nya bibi koya no no se no adwuma ni o ma ni mu nti se ne yesu ye free akoka omo wo no wana ti na ese muade umtimi bua ye bi muade ihia mu awa pa
but bunyantie ntiase se na Jan start here na biwi
see Jan de sem kase me think de Jan shase ana se me dwen se de Jan shase pa dia na me ankasa de me supplies if they said they was the sadina say Jano say padima ba ko ne dika be kase ijato market ni mu on the security wa asi ni en wani mu onum to ni dimirika PSA ijato market ni mu atwanse na ye bie gate na mu bie gate ni nche ade ni de sha na she no even though boys ne try best bia say ijano ye bitimi adum jano but enipa ho oden ne eduru ba bia tese enye yi na ndo an say the fire service no mbe from mbeba omso mba ye say omhwe situation na omntimi enya ayi no mawura mu aka say omba be adwuma even though mba ye omugina gate na no onum say ha nyina ye flood omde ayi to so ade ne krom de to so no krom krom ntimi amfa ma boys na na giye ena receive lives receive nkrofo ti say enya boys na ede nke nipa krom pa nke be wu kra de fire service for number o mu ani mu no ma na omti navy for ne ba o mu de ahoma bom mu no mo ne na nam dan so ma me bibia later kra iso ne twen ansa na o mu krampo de o mu so mo yo ma dwe say o betimi ba yetete an mi say ade ne hisa iso ne ba officer ne ka che so no ni duty na no di nsu aba ha si to ni duty nti o mu ntuka ne nko ampa asa aguraguro mu tuka ne ko e ti later ankasa ansa na o mu so mu duty ankasa ba say o mu ba be dum ja no satamna bibia asoso ase yawi inside de achi
into sha fire service anya omujuma ye sana
oh etima ka se fa ba bi no adwuma ne de fa ba bi o ma nya ni yi but nyame adom fa ba bi so o ma ba later ne de o mo bo mo modern se de o ma beton ba o mo di kan ba face no komu no komu try sen kombi bibia an ka de kan rusi so mo ni duty ntino mo ntimi nya hwe de o ka ba besi wonom ayinsu wom nyesi nsu onim nsu wom ayinsu bugu ta o ma nya hwe nti o mo ko ye na ansa na second badge for na o mo so mo duty na o mo ba no ansa na o mo timi abo ama ija no akofom ba still na dia aya na haye no ye hwe ayenye yi sei eni nyina tutu aka yensam.
Also, that's the situation at the rubber market very close to Odona and Odo Rubber Market at Circle. I'll take you to Alajo and also bring you the situation in Alajo. I have a few questions about this Odo market and its matters arising because yesterday around 7:30, NADMO indicated that the situation was so precarious. They mentioned that that area was so lethal and so people shouldn't even go close. But how we have arrived here, we'll definitely get into that. But let's go to Alajo where my colleague KMJ as well is bringing us an update from Alajo. KMJ, what's the situation? Well, we'll try and connect because we also know that the situation around Alajo was not too good. Yesterday, you saw there were also reports of somebody losing a life over there. And this morning, we don't know whether the water that's receded has brought some calm to the area. But my colleague KMJ has just visited there and will give us an update on what's happening when he is ready. Do I have KMJ? Okay, we'll try and reconnect. But before we went to my colleague at Steve at Circle, we were just getting the thoughts of our guests as well. Back in studio, it's time for Dr. as well. I thought you had landed. Proceed.
When I was landing,
so you were taxiing all this while?
Yeah, you landed very well.
Kojo, so you were taxiing all this while?
Let me land briefly. You see, the point that I was trying to make...
And the airline men are using
when my brother Honorable said that, I'm trying to imply that, look, the NDC, the reason everybody... No, you see, brother, let's put it where it belongs. There was a government in place. The flag bearer of the opposition ran various commentaries. You guys did a manifesto. In your manifesto, you put a lot of things in your manifesto to stop this thing that is happening. Yes. You've been in power for 18 months and it's gotten worse. No, that is why it needs to talk. Okay. Right. If you think there is something in Accra worse than this before yesterday, please bring it up.
Well, Doug, let me hear from you. But when I come back from Doug, Honorable, I'll come to you because the minister in charge of that sector was briefing Parliament on Friday. One of the things that he said that caught my attention suggested that there was a contractor in charge of working on a certain project between that Odo around Nima Paloma stretch. And that contract, and that contract had been terminated, which meant that the project was stalled at that particular time. So we'll come back to get to know why it was stalled. What was the briefing he gave? In fact, he also mentioned that this garage project officially started in 2024, actually. Kojo, it suggests that on paper, yes, it was signed 2019, but it actually started properly in 2024. Doc, I took your time because I was waiting for my colleague. I do not want to interrupt you when you start, so I'll go back to my colleague and come back to you. KMJ, what's the situation at Alajo?
Okay, that's it. We were still talking to a few people. Chief, that's saying, Nania Eduante, Bibi Aboko, Akufo-Addo. Now, what's the situation? It's saying,
menso, I am a brown. Now, and I signed the sea in Tinama and so Yabahanum. And I showed you see any dear. Yankupon, I Adomanka. You're listening yet. Into the Asidaba Miami. The Asidaba.
Yo, Nadia, I would say, yeah, Sanyama way intense CB.
And the Abayan say, the best I bind say, Obayan to ye because the cautioning yet, okay, Alajo has say, in Suta, Hupa. The best I bind say, Omonia near my said about what in my mufono, baby in Suta, Yasha, a honomono, when you see a more mine, and when you see Martima Mufon, the best I bind say 1 year to 2 years, said about in Suta, Tima Mufono, so Huberto.
Okay. Yo, we're still here and we're talking to a few people to find out what exactly they also make of the situation. This is Alajo, the very popular Alajo. If you've driven here before, you would understand that it's a very busy place. There are a lot of businesses all around this place, and sometimes if you come here and there's no rings like we are seeing over here, it's a place that you definitely will think that when it rains, situations like this will not happen. But that is the situation over here. Conversations are going on what we can do to avoid some of these things from happening. Some are blaming the government. Others are saying that it's a citizen thing. We all need to come on board and ensure that we do the right things to ensure we don't experience these things anymore. And so the conversations will definitely go on. But we're here. We're finding out what the aftermath looks like in terms of situation over here. So let's get talking to a few of the people and listen to them what they also think about the situation. Chief, let's say,
hey, yo, Nania Eduante.
Bibi Aboko.
Nania Eduante.
Yo, Hana Yejuma. Okada business now.
Okada business now.
Hana your business place pa situations na basis ya no saying na ha.
Ndura na mi wa ndura na kanko nipa kura nko bibi anko. Nsuo nu kwa na ko. Suna ya anu ni nya ma utumi containers ni nya any shops ni nya eko. Nsuo ni dia ha dream pa ha dream.
Why you juma ha che?
My juma.
Ebi asi say that.
Ebi asi say so enye say. Ene ndura de ni de na dangerous pa. Ebi asi say so NC say na ndura we cars are still cars they were got a by this time. David. Nentue ni na e container bibia cars. Uche got any mukura still we cars were got any. Intindura de ni de na dangerous pa.
Okay. Yo, Mama Brana, you didn't come over. Also, situation and run is so to now.
Is a number of Alajo here and a toy, how much and a free best say.
mefa ne se be se ho animu na ye se pe se toton kakran but ade echi ye ne de enya ne easy and I got say da hoyi ye say every 6 months bia ye ntimu ema ye but ye ntimu eno de alajo for ye hunu amane kasa ye hunu amane ene wo de kukurukura na awai na sesi abrabo ye wo mo tokura ye nto na ye ne be nyina hwe ye me se me ne mama yi bi kofi o me yi bi kofi enti abane mu kompo me hwe na chi no mboa ye ne ne ma ko so de bo nkwala ewu ye bi de mo na ntue che se eno de na ya homete ya homete gota na kasa ye se ye nti mo maye Muntim and I so no a major for no gota no omade bola yenjai na mboye yenya gota na ye bola no yenjai na ye fa bola we mesi ha maye na ye boaboye ne ma no ye tinya ye de akwa bum ye hia moa
yo that's it. Chief, let me speak to you for a moment. How are you?
I'm fine.
Your name is?
I'm an engineer Nico
Kojo,
engineer of CCTV and solar technology.
Okay. Well, where were you yesterday when the ring started?
Yesterday, I was in the house. I was here when suddenly this big gutter break in all the premises. When I opened the door, the water was here. I couldn't pick one.
Really?
Single things I couldn't pick.
There was no sign. You didn't know. You just opened the door and then.
Yeah, it's like that. It came unexpected. So I lost everything. I couldn't pick. That's what I used to work yesterday. Is the Church of Jesus Christ or later Day Saints who come and carry me and the family to sleep at the church. This morning I changed. I'm coming. I lost everything. I couldn't pick one dress for so many years. 20 good years work. You can see on my mattress everything. But I'm alive. My family is alive. You call Nanimo need attend. You called Natmo, they off every, but I have all the 3 lines, the 112 and the 029. They no pick.
It was raining, but they were not answering.
I'm speaking. I know what I'm saying. I'm a man of security. I'm a 3rd degree.
Black. This happened before here, ever since you came.
That's Akufo time. That's the 2nd time. You lost everything. Everything, the children. Thank God. God over all the mighty nation Ghana. If the thing was open at night, the disaster was be catastrophic. But thank God, God protect this nation. It's happened daytime. You're able to save, carry the children to. That's stop it then. Carry them up. That's what you were saved. So today I'm standing here. I don't know what to do. I can't go work. That's what I have it. That's what I have it in life.
I'm sorry about the situation, and it's well.
Nobody can blame the nature.
Yeah.
Not more. Please, the government must sit out to organize to save people.
Okay, very well.
Yes, when you call them, they are not attend.
Very well. That's also another message to Nadmo, and he thinks that Nadmo can do better. He called all the alliance, and yes, sir. Thank you very much for talking to us. He called all Nadmo's numbers, and they were not answering them. Chief, let's say.
Ayo.
And also.
Hana mi wapa. Or metana hache pa. Ondra nsone de anya kura. Ondra dua we mu nyina, kanchi we mu nyina wo hu na bia. Wonam ka kwan we so kura na aduru sisi. Aha se nyina ababe woni nyina wontimi mba ha afa ha nyina afa nantwe mienu aku afa kas bebre wa ha manfo poly tank ni fridge mu nyina de ko enti yesra abaye no woye bribi maye because send ha no mo ye ne de enye fine send ha no mo te no enye fine because amanfo containers amanfo kiosks amanfo cars nyina nsuo na afa enti yesra no gota no woye bribi maye ade amaye ho nti ye pa
yese mu tutu niam gugata no no so ka wonti na ya na nsu na cho
ba no bebre tutu bola ne niam nyina gumba ye de yanka ho because yante omo tete ben gota no omo na tutu niam ye de gugu ayi gota no mu Sunday because we know be utimi hu obi kurana wo kira ne so de tina utu niema egu gotan wo na person ne nko yeso yempa hu asem na ya fa ya kwa na ya pa ba bia fa because aha na ye wo no aha akwakwa yeti sukurum enti obi wo no na adwumom ne efie no ba ya fa 20 min ko pedan wa kire but ya netima ya so problem no ifritima mufo na bola na ye di tumu no so no ano so na na problem na ye den ba because asesa bola no from akire na ba bechuku wa ha bola se no kura na chuku bridge no because esa na enye fine wo be ka na akwa etesintu no na nipa no person didi watem ano so enkyere hwe e make sense because your money, a baby, and I'm penny for no so yes, Roma. Numbers no more de Toto Jano, you're from Monfa, because I need to know Mako school. Akosua who named the say by I'm from Monfa. I don't so make sense because Wako school, and I died man amount. I've been to our car from with Sombra, and I should upon a police for Abase or being a police in the baby, a dino, I die when Timim Pie. And son of my band and video you know when we phone so and son and watch it and I soldier for buy and no my bed no person mumbre and I say you know so pribiba you know mubet my bisane yes actually because you know how they see wow because send them penny for any yesram or mu ye bribi fa ho me the other mercy.
Yo, so they asking government to do something about it. Now they're also saying that NADMO's numbers, they've called them severally and we're not actually going through. Some were not also answering as well, and that's the situation over here. Now a lot of livelihood is gone. I mean, people have lost a lot of things. People are very sad about the situation, and we're looking at how best we can help with the situation over here. Now I've got a young man over here, and this is your son.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your name?
Rahman.
Okay, were you also caught up in this whole situation yesterday?
Yes.
Where were you?
I was in the house.
Where?
In the house.
You were in the house?
Yes.
And what happened to you? Who did you reach out for help?
My father.
So it was your father who rescued you?
Yes.
Okay, that's your son?
Yeah.
Where was he yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday, honestly, he was home with my woman, but I was at the shop. No, I was at the shop. So they called me and they was like, the water is almost full, so I should come around. As soon as I got here, I noticed the water has already bashing. It's entering the room. So I have to make sure I raise up my books and his books and my iPad and everything up. I did that and I went to this one-story building here at the back of the bridge just to get myself, to make sure I'm safe with my boy. So just within some couple of hours before we realized all the building got flooded. Not even just the household, the whole compound. Even our polytank got passed through the wall, through the fence, because all the household, everything was flooded. It was full to the extent of we not getting anything. So this is the only thing I have now.
This is the only thing you guys can see for yourself.
I have now. So I'm now going to my mom's place to see if she'll be able to assist me with anything, because we are out of everything. There's nothing. My Tesla, my this thing, my phone, but my iPad, my laptop, everything is gone. My clothes, everything. My son's book is even more important because they are going to new class. He's in class 3. They are going to class 4. Every class 3 book is not done with it. Now I need to get new ones. Even there are some exercise books that he has not used at all. I'm planning to use those things in next time, but now the flood has taken everything.
Are you coming back here again? Everything. Are you coming?
Well, yeah, so that's the situation in Alajo. Just a casual reading will tell you that because the Odo was overly full, there was a hydraulic backwater effect. That definitely means that the Odo was pushing the water back to the Alajo drain storm. That's the situation in Alajo. Let me take you to Aveno, where my colleague Fatal Bayaga as well is on standby. Fatal, what's the situation in Aveno?
Emefa, the distraction is palpable here. In fact, across every part of this area, many of the business people are trying to salvage what they can salvage at the moment. They tell me that they've lost thousands of Ghana cedis following yesterday's heavy downpour here. So you see this man here, he is trying to wash the son of biscuits and milk, among other things here. He is trying to salvage the few things that he's been able to recover after the huge downpour yesterday.
the owner tells me that many of these items have been washed away into the Odona drain, the Alajo drain and all of that. So it's been a very serious situation for many of the people here. And even if you look if you look over there, many of the people there are trying to also salvage many of their items after yesterday's downpour. We'll speak with the owner shortly, but Emefa, let me just take you through. In fact, they tell me that there were so many cars here. Some of them have been washed into the Alajo drain because of how the current of the water, it was so strong to the point that it was able to wash vehicles into the drain. And the distraction, the situation for many of the people here, business owners, is very serious at this particular point. We would speak with some of the people who were affected by this particular situation, just to appreciate what they make of the distraction that happened yesterday. You operate here, your office is here. Tell me about how you feel about this particular situation.
Normally, it has ever happened before, about 10 years and over before. But this one particularly is worse than what happened before. The flood, you can see here, this is the level of the water. As you see here, that's the level of the water. And then the whole compound was full of water. It carries these tanks that you can see here. The whole tray of these big tanks has gone outside, and then we have machineries here at the workshop here. We have machines here. This is Ghana Metals Fabrication Company Limited. So all of our machineries that we have here has damaged, completely damaged.
So the distraction appeared to be glaring. How would you do, or what would you do to get back into business at this point?
Now we don't actually have means, so we are looking upon the government or whoever that can come in, especially the government, to come and assist, because this is above our level. So we are looking upon the government to come and help us, because all of machines is gone. The damage is too big. In fact, if you want to calculate it, it's a whole heap of money. So the company is suffering now. So we need the help of the government.
Emefa, he needs the help of the government, not just this business. A lot of other people are struggling at this point. In fact, some of the business people are scooping water out of their shops just that they can try in a way to begin operation again. For many of them, this is a very difficult situation for them. But let me just take you to this particular point where many of the biscuits and other items that were brought in just before the flooding, that were brought in on Sunday, and they were being prepared to be taken to the market. All of a sudden, after that huge downpour, all of these items are now, covered with sand and water. The people here are struggling to recover from this particular situation. We would get to engage the owner herself. At this point, she's still trying to come to terms with this particular situation. She tells me that she will lose millions of Ghana cedis following yesterday's downpour. But let me speak with these people who are trying to scoop water or trying to clear the frontage of their shops so that they are able to operate again. They are able to operate again following this particular situation. I cannot pass here because of how muddy the place is, but let me try and speak with a few people here just to appreciate what they feel about this particular issue. So your car was submerged in flood waters. Talk to me about how you feel about it.
I feel bad because feel bad too much because we can't do anything again.
So we are managing our things small. We are managing our things small. Okay. So let me call my brother one around here.
Okay. So Emefa, let me speak with the business lady, the lady who brought those items to this particular place, just to get to appreciate what she feels about this particular situation. Your items were swept away by the water. Talk to me about this whole thing.
Okay. The issue is that it's beyond my control because all the goods that were flooded was on Saturday was taken away by water. None was recovered. The few that was recovered, the condition is not even okay. So that is all I can say because I don't even know what to say again. I have not experienced such before. If I knew, even the trailer himself was sink inside water.
The trailer itself?
Yes, it was sink. I hope all the goods inside the trailer is also damaged. But when I open it, I will see what the condition. Even the ones on the room, the goods I have over there. Oh.
So you suspect that the water may be inside the truck at the moment?
Yeah, I think so. There might be a water inside the trailer because water was entering the trailer.
So in estimating, how much do you think you will lose following this particular situation?
Oh. The money is much. The money is much, my brother. The money is much. I don't even know what to say. The trailer himself, to bring it all the way from Nigeria to here, is already costing us 380,000 Ghana cedis.
380,000 Ghana cedis?
Which has not been recovered. I'm not talking about the goods. So, I don't know what to say, but all I say is that it has happened. That is it.
What kind of support? And even before that, how would you try to get back on your feet again following this issue?
To get back on my feet again, there is no way out. I hope unto God, and if the government can come for rescue, because nothing can be done. Even to start the business, even the trailer himself has got spoils. They are going to call the mechanic all the way from another country, Benin, to come for the trailer. That is it.
Emefa, the situation is quite disheartening here. Not just her alone. There are other people, many other business owners.
Can you find out from those who are cleaning what it looks like, the snacks, and then the whatever it is that they are washing and cleaning? What do they intend to do with it? Can you find out for me?
The documents inside those shops have all been submerged by flood waters here. But let me take you further to speak with more people here, just to engage them on this. Okay, so they are going to open one of the warehouses here, and I'm told that the destruction there, it's really disheartening. It's making the people who operate here feel so bad. They are struggling to get on their feet. They said they need government support in order for them to be able to operate again, because almost everything inside the shop has been submerged in flood waters. So
Fatal, if you can hear me, I know that you're taking me into something that looks like a warehouse. What happens in there? But I also saw that some people were trying to wash some of the things that were left off. What are they intending to do with them? Are they washing to sell them, or they're completely destroyed?
So what they tell me is that some of them, they cannot sell them again because of how they have become, but there are a few that they've been able to salvage, and they'll put that back into the market. I don't know how they intend to do that. Maybe I would have to find out from her how they intend to do that, because in fact many of these items have been taken over by sand, and in fact even the biscuits, part of them in flood waters, and all of that. Maybe we'll get to know what they intend to do to these items. But Emefa, this workshop, the owner is here. He tells me you work here, right?
Yes.
You do. I'm told that all of these items
are new things.
They are new things.
Yes.
From where?
These papers are imported. The motorcycle engines are from China.
Okay.
Yeah. So
all have been damaged now because you cannot fix this one. Nobody can buy. No printing press can take it because it has spoiled. So probably you sell it as scrap. But I'm telling you, see, the main office, the owner of this yard, his office, he has not come to open it. Okay. I think the damage inside the office will be more great also. Because he hasn't come. He was here yesterday, but he couldn't come in. Yeah. So,
Emefa, the destruction is quite severe.
Imagine the water lifting 5 tanks out of it.
It lifted how many?
5.
5 tanks?
Yes, one is at Caprise and this Aveno area now. We are just waiting for the director. Then we use safe loader to go and bring it back. One is at the gate. If you pass the other corner, you will see where one is. According to them, 2 is at this end. So we don't know. We have not experienced such before.
You've not experienced such before?
No. But we experienced flooding, but for this type of magnitude of lifting these tanks and even covering these cars, we have not experienced.
I'm sure you've lived here for a very long time. What and you've not experienced such an issue before. What do you think is the cause of this?
Let us talk of our drillage are not sufficient. If our drillage are good, water will be flowing into the main to the seaside. Even as I was coming this morning, I was suggesting that all the scrap boys who are doing business along the road, along that gutter, should be evacuated from there. They shouldn't allow them to operate there. They shouldn't allow them to operate there.
So you mean the scrap dealers also contribute to this flooding?
When the gutter is choked, where does the water go? You find this alternative way by overfloating.
But they also claim that some of you operating here, when you are done with your refuse, instead of properly dumping them, you wait for the flooding to come, then you drop them inside the flood waters.
We engage a boiler boys whom we pay every day to come and collect rubbish from us. A big company like this. How many companies are here? See this paper. When you reach, you go there. There are paper companies. The toilet road that we are having at Asuchari, go and see what has caused the damage also they have. We have people who collect our rubbish. We don't dump. How can a big company like this dump? Even we are thanking God now, we ordered plate. If the plate were to arrive here, this will spoil it. We imported the plate and it's at Tudi. It's supposed to came in yesterday evening, Sunday evening. If it were arrived by Sunday evening, by now these things will spoil it because you cannot use old thing to build a work for me and then I'll accept it.
All right, thank you very much. So, Emefa, that's the situation here. A lot of the people over there. So, I want to take you to where the track is. They are trying to see whether some of the items inside the truck are intact at the moment. It's been in fact, almost all the shops along the road here at Aveno, all of them are trying to salvage the remaining items. That are left in their shops. Some of them are scooping water out of their shops just to be able to get back into business. But I'm afraid to ask a very important question. Let me ask the lady whether she intends to put these items back into the market following this particular situation. So, Madam, just a minute of your time again. You see the items in the truck and also those that they are washing here. Do you intend to, put them back into the market immediately, or what do you intend to do to them?
Okay, I'm just putting it to know the condition of it. The condition will tell. If the condition is still okay, if it's not okay, I will wash it out.
But biscuits, washing biscuits in water and all of that, do you think there will be?
We're just cleaning it with wipes. If the condition is good, if it's not good, we have to dispose it. That is it. I can't say something that is not healthy to the public.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Emefa, they are trying to check inside the track here, this a huge track here, to be sure that the items inside are not inside water, so that to see if those items can be put back into the market. She already told me that she's going to lose so much money as a result of this particular flooding situation, which inundated parts of Accra yesterday. And one of the heavily hit areas, obviously, was Aveno, Alajo, and the other surrounding communities. So we are still monitoring all the developments here, Emefa, and so now they've opened the track, the boot of the track, to see if the water entered this. Even I'm told that because of the flooding situation, this track is broken down at the moment. So clearly, the water was able to get into the track. So you are seeing it now?
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Water entered it. So there is no way out. You can see the mud. Water entered the dweller. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. All I need is, because right now there is no way to have the resources to resume the game, because most of the goods is damaged, and this dweller now to put it in good condition is also money. Yes, it's also money. So
you think this could collapse your business?
Of course, to an extent, of course. So we are looking for financial assist from the government, if it is possible. Yeah, of course. Hey, a lot of damages has now occurred, of course. Because from here to the edge of this dweller is water. Because as it's going, it's entering inside. Yeah, a lot has been damaged.
This will tell you the level of distraction. In fact, this track is a bit high, but the water was able to get inside, and the goods inside the track, just from what I can see, many of them were soaked in flood waters, and this for the lady could collapse a business at this point. She spent so much money to be able to import all of these goods from Nigeria to Ghana, and this is the situation that she is witnessing at the moment. So it's been a very serious situation for many of the people who operate around this particular area. And one thing that is that they're talking about is they need government support at this moment to be able to get back to business and operate effectively.
Thank you so much for bringing us updates from Aveno. Well, that's a lot to take in. Back in studio, I was just going to Doug because he's not made his submissions. Kojo, I have to retire you to pause. But Director.
Your correspondent at Alajo, he interviewed one teacher. He's a bit grown up. And I was touched. I called production to get in touch with him, but they said the reporter couldn't take his number because of the reporting. I want to put it across. If he's watching us, he should get in touch with Joy News. I want to support. He made an appeal.
Yeah.
And I'll ask for his monthly salary, and I'll give him 1 month's salary to support the decision. In fact, he touched me yesterday.
Oh, thank you.
Nobody should call me direct. Call Joy News.
Yeah, I mean, once a reporter was on ground, we'll find him for you. Thank you so much, Director.
Yeah.
Well, Doc, finally would hear from you.
You see, I agree to everything that my co-panelists, have said. And the president has spoken. The first gentleman of the land has spoken, touching about 3-4 issues. For me, Emefa, this flooding is a combination of all factors.
Thank you.
That the president touched on, what we have discussed, what our viewers also believe are the root causes of this, flooding in Accra. One thing caught my attention when President talked about the fact that, anytime something of this nature happens, we tend to put up an attitude similar to that of the vulture. So he spoke about the vulture and, the procrastination, attitude of the vulture. What I gather from it is this. As a country, as government, as people, we need to be committed to ourselves. We need to be committed to our nation. Anytime that something of this nature happens, look at the lives that have been affected. The 9 lives gone cannot be reclaimed. But who knows the kind of, endeavors that they were in. The young ones, probably one day when they grow, they may positively affect this country going forward. We are quick to put up a policy, but we are not deliberate about continuity. And I think that these are things that we need to change. In fact, if there is any form of attitude that is affecting us, issues of commitment on the part of government, commitment on the part of the people of this country, and how we can buy into policies and be deliberate about policies and continue in them is something that we need to seriously look at. As we speak, we are all talking about the attitude of the people, all right? It's very bad. I mean, when we watch the screens, look at the Addo area, look at the settlements in there, how people have settled in there, the kind of buildings, close to the gutter. And what happens if this thing should continue for the next 1 month? We are hearing that even this afternoon, another thunderstorm is approaching. What if the intensity will be as this? And then the point is that once the soil soaks water, okay, if it doesn't, the sunshine doesn't shine enough for it to drain deep, and then another downpour comes in, what is going to happen? All right, already, even if Addo is receded, when I was coming, it was halfway. Okay, another downpour
We'll lift it again.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that is going to be a problem.
Okay.
You see, in talking, we all didn't talk about GMET, Ghana Metro, okay, the agency that is responsible for weather. As to whether they are able to signal us enough for people to know, as to whether they are able to let us know that the rain coming in is something that we need to avoid and probably evacuate or probably move away from where we are, is another issue. I mean,
no, but GMET can only do what they can, because as I was telling Honorable earlier, there are places in Accra today that are flooded that we never thought, even if GMET, gave the announcement,
no, I understand
people will still
that.
live.
I understand, I do okay. Understand, because even I know New Plant Station is closer to Addo, all right, but what I saw yesterday, I can't recollect if I've seen a similar thing in the past. All right.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But my point is that if GMET can tell us, I mean, the president was talking about 56 millimeters of water, that has been one of the worst in Ghana. And this time around 140 millimeters, isn't it? So obviously what it means is that places that have not been flooded are likely to see it. They will experience it for the first time, all right? But if GMET can tell us that the kind of rain coming in, is likely to give us these volumes of water.
We can't. I don't think
the technology is not there.
Does not
Okay. So then that is also another problem, because we are moving into a world of technology.
It's not like we don't have it, but the technology to determine the amount of rain that God will pour down. I mean, unless we have a communication to God, to ask God how many.
But we have also seen technologies that are able to tell us, that certain countries, that certain volcanoes will be coming in. How do you call it? The one
hurricanes and all that,
earthquakes and all that.
But
and
they can tell the intensity of the wind by measuring it from the back, because there's wind meters to test. But how much water pours down will be difficult. The technology doesn't exist anywhere. I mean, I've not seen it. I don't know whether
they can determine that it will be heavy.
Oh yes, but I'm saying
so even if the technology can tell us the number of hours that it is going to rain, all right, I think that we should begin to move in that direction.
So Doc, what do you recommend? That GMET to tell people so they relocate, or they should tell governments for government to do something?
Communication. In fact, I heard or I've read that in the first place, GMET actually gave that signal.
Okay,
that it is going to rain heavily, and that people in low-lying areas should find places to move.
Doc, number one, Samiti kiosk mu. Ewo alajo kwan we so baby.
Yeah.
But see, let me put in some small education. If there is 150 millimeters of rainfall, and that happens over 6 hours, you will not see this. If that happens within 2 hours, you'll see this.
Yeah.
So is there?
So is the intensity at a particular period
within a particular period, so that you have too much water having to find space to evacuate.
Okay.
If it rains over a period, then the water will slowly seep away. So it is how intensity, because every time we've had June 6th, June 10th, all of it, we have the first 2 hours or 1 hour of heavy downpour. That is when we have these instances.
So Emefa, even...
Doc, my question.
Yes. The question again.
Yeah, the question is, for example, if GMET could do any form of predictions and they're even accurate, who should they speak to? The people of Ghana?
Yes,
or
the people of Ghana.
Somebody can afford to pick their bag and go live with a cousin.
So,
but somebody as well, because we mentioned urbanization.
Ghanaians do that.
That's why I'm getting to we cite urbanization as one of the major problems, and I'm thinking that a person living where they are, if they had another option, won't be living there in the first place.
No, but
the thing is that we should also appeal to our media houses that almost every morning, every afternoon, evening, you should be able to put some kind of alert across.
The GMET?
Yes.
I mean,
when they release their info, we are appealing to you
what people are suffering from. They haven't recovered from the past predictions that didn't come. Didn't happen.
Yes, exactly.
They haven't recovered.
But this time is better.
So last time I had a conversation with the boss of GMET, he tells me that, and he doesn't even have to tell me, we can see that you have made great progress.
I think I made that point.
Yes, you do. Yeah. But again, I'm saying that, Doc, I don't think anybody wants to live in a waterway and to be swept away by water. What is the real challenge? The urbanization that is happening, how are we curbing it for people to live in areas that they live in? So
that is an issue of policy, right? But if my belief is this, once you receive, if you are living around Alajo, around the Odo River, and you get to know that this is likely to happen. In fact, GMET earlier in the year had said that we are going to receive a lot of rains this year. And even in June, they also signaled that there's going to be a multi-June storm. So it means that it will rain today, tomorrow it will rain. It can rain continuously for 3-4 days. You understand?
Doc, for example, in 2006, when President Akufo worked on that Alajo drain storm, it will give me the confidence to want to relocate from where I am to live in Alajo and its environment, because I can see a visible drain storm or an area that is supposed to help with drainage. That's how confident I am. Doc, do you understand? That the challenge existed, but today I see that, I must see it's our drainage way. So no matter the amount of rain, right, I still feel safe. But the places that ideally should have been safe has actually also become a hotspot.
So, if you are listening to the people, they have said that it has happened before.
But not this huge.
But not this huge.
In fact, they cite that Kufuor's era, which is what they say is the reason why Kufuor went into that agreement.
And even was it last week or last 2 weeks? When I was coming to your studios, all right, what I saw was close to the Addo River overflowing 8 banks because it was just at the brim of the edge of the gutter. You understand? And what came into my mind was that any downpour again today is going to cause damage. And yesterday's rain did exactly that. So if you are living there with the confidence that the size of the drainage is that huge, then probably you are deceiving yourself or you are being overconfident.
Okay.
All right. And look, I believe that we should be conscious of ourselves. This issue about the fact that I've lived here for that long and I've not seen this, I've not seen that, this is the first time I'm seeing. We are experiencing climate change, for God's sake. Emefa, when you were showing the videos, I was telling Kojo and Honorable and Hobson, director, to find time and drive across the Weja Dam. Emefa, if you send your cameras there, what do you see?
We see it every day.
Okay, you've been seeing it,
yeah.
Obviously. And do you know why? Because people feel that no matter what, even if there is spillage, it will not get in here.
Yeah.
And look, yesterday, the management of Weja Dam have given a signal that they are going to open 3 of their gates at 3 millimeter level or something, or 3 meters level.
When?
Yesterday.
They're going to open it.
Yes.
Yes, just
of all these, what we are experiencing, they are still going to open.
Hey.
You know why? Because you must choose between the national installation, okay, and what will happen to the people. And this is it. I hear that when the volume of water behind it is so huge, it can break.
Yes, it does break.
Like,
Yeah.
and that would be worse.
Yeah.
About a quarter or half of Accra, yes,
Yeah.
of Accra will be flooded.
Yeah.
So just open it.
The last time I was drawing up my
You
panelists to
understand?
the attention that when I spoke to Stanley Mate, Ghana Water Company Limited, he mentioned that everybody that lives in that area, those who know that they're not supposed to live in a particular area, they know. And the demand for let us relocate, they've gone past that stage because they already know, year in, year out, they know that where you're living is dangerous, you're not supposed to be there. So now they're not even going to bother themselves educating and all of that because it costs them a lot of money. They are going to spill anyway if they have to spill.
But you know my problem with that, and I've always told them that apparently there's a new guy there that has come in that is not doing the right thing. Look, they have the catchment area. They know where, when it rains, it gathers in that and ends up in the dam. We have meters, flow meters, that gauges how much rain you are anticipating to come in. You don't sit and wait for all that rain to come in before you spill. You know the amount of rain coming in. Spill it. The only time the flood happens in the area is when all of a sudden there's over capacity in the dam and they have to open it at full speed immediately. But you can tell that 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers up the road, there is this amount of water coming into the dam because you have flow meters. So why wait and sit there without taking your measurements at your various flow meter points to know the amount of rain coming into the dam? Why wait for it to get into the dam?
When it gets in, if they know before, what can they do?
Because then you can start spilling. You see, when you spill when you spill it gradually, it doesn't flood the area. The flood, again, like I explained earlier, the amount of water you let go at a particular time, within a short possible time, is what causes a flood. So if you release the water gradually, it will go...
The people who live there
will not get flooded. They will not flood.
You see,
there is a way that there is a drainage for the water to
So you
spill.
say that they can tell miles away
Yes.
if the water will become
days before.
Days before they'll release.
Before the water gets into the dam. There are flow meters. Okay. Various catchment areas, because that's how we know we are going to get this amount of rain.
Okay.
So we are talking about the climatic change and the volumes of water that seems to be overwhelming. Right. So you see, even this year, this problem that Kojo is talking about, the advice is given, the recommendation, I believe that I've heard it, and I've spoken with some people within that enclave. You see, Kojo, the point still remains that this year, the volumes of water are huge.
We agree.
And you see, the first time that they opened was when this issue you are talking about came, that he waited, all right. But, they are into water treatment. So they will still need water because definitely the water supply coming to our homes is far, far below. All right. So they may want to retain as much water as possible to be able to treat it and then supply to meet the demands. So for me, I wouldn't begrudge him. But what I would say is that, look, the people living in there should understand that, look, if water is going to overflow, all right, and you know that these areas will be affected, no matter the investment that you have done.
Okay.
All right, you still must find yourself a place. I mean, we have moved into certain areas in Accra that, Emefa, when you see where people have built, you simply will have to ask certain questions. All right. Look, we have talked about institutional failure, or the president spoke about institutional failure. Which institutions are in charge, especially when it comes to, how do we call it, building permits and protecting certain landmarks. All right. People are speaking about the district assemblies and all that. For me, the blame should not just be on their doorstep. But I believe that, look, if certain waterways are being encroached, if certain natural places, are being encroached, and water will not find its level, its way, as it is supposed to be, what do we have to do? I mean, director was talking about the fact that we need to, as it were, demolish some of these structures. And I agree. Okay. But beyond that, I also believe that laws should be enforced. Yes, those laws are there, but probably they are not so strong, so robust in such a way that it could deter people. Why don't you go back to Parliament, have a consideration on some of these laws, and probably put, the authority deeply into the hands of these MMCAs to, as it were, be able to carry out some of these functions. All right. Some of these interferences coming their way should also be prevented.
Yeah.
All right, because I've heard MCs complain, about some of these things. And look, apart from the MCs, what happens to the landowners who sell the land?
Well, if I sell the land to you, if I don't get the permit from the MC, I can't build.
No.
Oh?
Yes. That's what is happening.
Yeah, it then forces you to peel back and return the land because then you can't build. But
Emefa, do you know that one thing leads to the other?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you sell the land, the person will move everything possible to ensure
to want to build.
To build.
Okay, so they people have simplified the problem quite easily. They say that the Works and Housing Ministry will do all the work by constructing all the big drainages in the cities. Then the district assemblies will prevent the drainages by permitting people to build in the waterways. So there's this disconnect. And then that's what the NPP is saying, that there's a disconnect between the Works and Housing Ministry and the local governance level. In an attempt to decentralize our governance, we're creating a problem. It looks like we go into the big one, we get to the bottom, and then the bottom is what is actually pushing the problem upwards. But I'm quite interested in Addo, because it's like since I was a child, right? I hear Addo, and that's where eventually all the flood water goes to, or what?
Addo is a river.
There's a river and there's a basin.
Okay.
But before
they
I go on, you
same.
have an admirer. He keeps harassing me on my phone. Somebody says, I should wish you belated. I don't know how. One of my mates in Opokwa requesting Mabua. He said, I should wish you happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you.
He keep harassing me. I don't even know.
Even us, we are guilty.
Oh. we wish her on camera. You came late. Your voice will disturb the people. Your voice will disturb the people. Your voice will disturb the people at home.
Okay. Okay.
My wife is a singer.
Okay.
So she's training me.
So there is Addo River, and then there's the basin as well.
The basin is all the areas around the river. The low, you see, it's
the tributaries
more, not the tributaries. The basin.
Yeah.
When you say the basin, it's like the area around the river. So there's a river. It's one of the main rivers. It's not the only river. It's one of the main rivers in Accra.
What is the constant overflow of it? What is the constant?
Because it's a lot of the tributaries, so the word you use, a lot of the tributaries covers major part of Accra. But that is only Accra. Is that Accra West or Accra East? I'm a bit confused on Accra. Is that West?
East.
That's Accra East.
No, that's...
I'm not sure.
My
geography is terrible.
That's Accra West.
West. That's Accra West. East will be.
Yes. So Accra East.
So circle is like it's here.
Is the middle. So circle is in the middle. So circle is in the middle. So Accra.
Take the Medina Road straight. Circle is the left side is east.
So Accra West is mainly served by the Addo River.
Okay.
And I think the other tributaries run through. Then the Beshi Lagoon that I talked about, with the rivers coming in through Labadi going up, also is served by one. There's another one also up at the Sakumono.
So why has Addo become popular?
Because it's the biggest that we have.
It's the biggest.
Yes.
What is the problem with it?
The problem is the human activity.
No, we have turned the river into a gutter.
Yeah. People dump refuse there.
In Amsterdam, when you go through, if we were to plan this country properly, the Addo River should have been like in Amsterdam, where you can see the river in the city.
Yes.
So what we've done is we've turned a river into a gutter.
Even the gutter is not taken well care of. That's
exactly. So that's the problem. So that is why I keep saying that it doesn't matter what you do. The original flow of river from the colonial days will still find its way into the natural river, which is the Addo. That is where the Addo problem is.
In natural sense, we need a contractor from Holland. You know, they can push the sea.
Dredge Master. Do you ever know about Dredge Master?
Yeah.
Dredge Master was from Amsterdam.
Okay.
Yeah, you see?
But Director Honorable, the minister was in Parliament on Friday. He says, "What's the problem with the Garrett project?"
Yeah.
Which
what is your obsession with Garrett that you can bring back to it?
Because I want clarity on it.
Okay,
you know,
go ahead.
Let them play the video so that we can talk to it.
Let me say something.
Yeah.
A colleague of mine just sent a message and was talking about, because we were asking about the Addo.
Yes.
He believes that, you know, if we could also channel other, you know, sources of, you know, inflows into the Addo, you know, to the west or east, so that the Addo is freed a bit in terms of the capacity of water that is feeding it, then that could also help. But these are all engineering issues.
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Okay.
And
at a point, there was this huge talk that Addo
like I was saying,
center.
The one-way engineering. That's one way.
Okay. And could I ask this question, because you know many people think that this Garrett project from 2019 maybe should have solved all of this problem. It won't be until when the minister visited Parliament that I know that it actually just started in 2024, and as well a contract had actually also been stalled in the middle, so that people do not think that we had a solution and we threw it out of the window. What exactly is the current situation with it when he came to Parliament?
Oh, no, we all know that between 2019 and 2024, we had an amount of what, $505 million. That is supposed to help us deal with these problems. Yet much has not been done. So I think that that's what the minister came and trying to lay bare where we are and why we are at this point. So, but like you said, to me, I think that in terms of further details as to the Garrick project, I think that the minister should be given the time so that if you can have an interaction with him, so that maybe he will lay bare the actual facts relating to what has transpired. But trust me, we have seen business being done with our woes, and that's why we are starting to keep. Let's all focus and be citizens for once and make sure that we solve this problem for ourselves.
But Emefa, let us say it here and here, that from today, if money is allocated for this program, and then we come and sit here next year, and the same problem, without even being solved a quarter way or halfway, that person will be charged and will call for his head.
Who is going to be charged?
The one in charge. That's why you see this video. Let's listen so that I talk to it. If they can.
I'm going to say.
This dredging, cleaning up is going to take about 6 months to complete this one. Then the Kwale Lagoon itself will take a longer time because that's where we have more composition of material, which needs to take a longer time, maybe about a year or two to finish. We're going to have recreational facilities. That is the sea outfall. So along we have recreational facilities, other infrastructure, we can have some hotels will come at the end, and this makes the whole place. Then we're dredging all the way through cycle before the commencement of the work. This is how the situation was. The channels were heavily silted. Along the channel you can see very heavy siltation. So this is the beginning. Then during the process of the dredging.
This video.
Yeah.
How President was being convinced that they are going to do this, bird recreational centers and other things. So in effect, the reason was that, like by this time, when you are at Circle, you want to cross over, you don't have a car, you can just use a boat or whatever to cross to the other side. Money was allocated for this project. What has happened to the project? And everybody is quiet. The contractor has been left go. We just, squandered our money, and then we are quiet.
But Director, they are in government.
It's not they are in government.
So,
but he's also in government. It doesn't need some more than the NDC. Him? No. Doesn't need some more than the NDC.
He comes
here. He sound more than the NDC.
This is a Ghanaian.
He sound more than the NDC. Let him speak and respond. You tried to bring a video of Ronaldo. You wanted the whole situation. Why did you have to bring a picture of Ronaldo?
Don't worry.
We are solving the Ghana problem. You want us to solve a Ghana problem, but you insist of a video that shows Ronaldo. Your mischief will never leave you.
This is not political.
It is political.
I am saying
that video was for mischief.
You are a problem of this country. You are a problem.
Let me ask a question.
Do you know?
Question. Kojo, what's wrong with this video?
This is the
president being presented with a vision.
The antics, please. You see, you don't do the politics. We do the politics. There is a video, please. He is more than an NDC member. No, there is a problem. There is a problem going on. There is a problem going on. No, please. There's a problem going on. We are showing pictures of the NDC not solving that problem. Hobson has now insisted that there should be a video played with Ronaldo in it. What's the implication? Please, let's not.
I started my narration. I said
when I said that there should be dissection of growth, you said there's implication. Yes, but your picture of Ronaldo.
You are being
Let's move on. No. Let's move on. Hobson is more than NDC.
No, he's a Ghanaian. A patriotic Ghanaian for that.
Emefa.
Take your final
because they're almost done.
I am speaking, please.
Can I make my submission?
He cannot distract me.
Yes. I'm not distracting you.
Calling me NDC member.
No, don't even listen.
No. I want him to know. When you tell me that I'm NDC member, you embody me more. Everybody knows that I am a national officer of United Party.
And next,
so to say no problem at all. A day will come. We'll refer you to this and NDC. Don't worry. Don't worry. A day is coming. We'll refer you.
So
no
you are
problem.
recommending that we find a contractor or...
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Money was paid. And look at how they were wrapping President Akufo-Addo. And President Akufo-Addo was, happy within him that, hey, now we are going to see recreational center at the Odo and all those kind of things. The minister, Atachia, was standing there, nodding the head. What have you done to them? We are quiet. Are you getting it? That's why I am sounding the warning that from today, we should not see some of these things. We bring this out and someone will decide to say it's political. How can this be political? And it is because of you, the type of you. That's why civil servants are taking us for granted. They chop the money, then you, the politician, you come and sit here and be defending.
All right, I think
you'll be defending.
I think it's a good place to wrap. We've had a long one.
But don't need to make a finance of
it was embedded in all of your
You know when Mahama made his submission and said that, President Mahama made.
Oh, have I finished?
When President Mahama made his submission,
the time is up. I don't know what
President Mahama made his submission.
I have not finished. Please wait.
Actually,
the way forward is that. No. You made. Let me finish. Kojo, let me finish.
I want to give the last.
Let me finish.
No, you can't, please.
I will.
I beg. On that issue of moving.
Let me finish.
Moving the new capital. Yeah. I want to make a small 30 seconds.
Okay, let me
finish so that you can.
Please land for me. My time is up, so
you cannot distract me. You see, the way forward is
receiving end. The two of us.
The way forward is that now that we are in this situation. When your people were going around, you see, if God willing, tomorrow you continue going around, let them ask, are they ready? They are saying government should come and help them. Government should come and help them. Are they ready? That when government say move, we want to put up something here so that it will not happen again. Are they ready to move?
Some move na de pumanenam. Anyway, some move you need puma.
Now who call no one de puma share wensa. Who gave you that puma before you went there?
Our time is up.
Okay, the first recorded flag in Accra, most importantly,
we'll do this
was
next week, I promise.
1954.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say thank you to Dr. Bernard. Time now, sir. Dr. Bernard is lecturer on political marketing, University of Education, Kojo is executive director, in-step and also member of the MPP communication team. He took his seconds to greet Dr. Baumia. Now he wants to wrap up with my time. And Kojo is director, field operations, United Party. Mohammed Baktalia is MP for Sisala East and board member for TOR, and we already introduced Dr. Boahini. I want to say a happy birthday to one of our camera giants here, Festus. Happy birthday to you, doing amazing stuff behind the camera. Happy birthday. And as well, a glorious birthday to Merewusu Asare, National Service Personnel at CWG Ghana. And this one is from Medofo. Yes, so what you are saying?
Happy birthday to you.
Well, the show is sponsored by from Azar Group, Syntax 5 and Time Herbal Vista.
He said he won't give us time, but he wants birthday for happy birthday. She won't give us time to say, but the birthday she will take. Birthday she will take. You give me 30 seconds, but birthday she will take.
Please stay with us. There's some more on the channel.